Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Worldshaper Games. I remembered it this time.
Hey,
uh, we, yes, this is episode 9 of Worldshaper Games. We are playing Rime of the Frostmaiden. It's been very good so far. We've been playing for about, 3 years or something ridiculous like that. So it's been pretty good. Gotten
yeah,
used to the system and all those things. What we normally do is go around and introduce ourselves and a tiny bit of our characters to sum up and give a small intro. And then we talk about what we did last session as a recap, and then we jump in. So as normal, Jack, if you would like to take it away.
sure thing, boss. I'm Don Hayes. I play the character Emilia. She is a rogue hailing from the city of Waterdeep. She is actually the daughter of the character I played in the last campaign, Kalazar Elduin. And she is kind of a little bit fed up of everyone always talking about her father being one of the heroes of Waterdeep and all. And she basically a couple of caravans from their estate have gone missing whilst venturing to the north. So trade routes have been damaged and hindered, and she has gone to the region of Icewind Dale to find out what has happened to her trade routes, get it back on track, get them trading again. And also for her own personal side of things, she wants to step out of her father's shadow and make a name for herself so that she has her own tale and it's not always father this and father that. Fun times. Father!
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Dave?
Yeah, well, I guess I should do a slightly longer one this time. I play Quinn Fairkettle. I am a Twilight Cleric of the god Shantae, or Shantia if you want to be more accurate. Yeah, I'm from Waterdeep, with a minor character from our campaign we did before. But Broxy Fairkettle was her uncle, which is like a weird in joke that no one's going to get because no one else saw that. So yeah, she moved to the brewery, had a vision, decided to try and bring agriculture to the north. And yeah, she came up north to Icewind Dale, 10 towns, and is slowly trying to make it fertile. And yeah, the endless winter is not good for her.
Not good for
She
anybody.
does not like this. Yeah.
No,
Endless winter, really bad for agriculture. Who knew?
certainly is.
And yeah, she's going to sort this out.
Nice. How about you, Levi?
He's going to skip over Greg.
Going to Greg because he had a cool song last time. I wonder if he's going to do it again.
Ooh, no pressure.
Oh, that's pressure you put on him. Yeah, I'm Levi, aka Killjoy. And I play as the fighter Cassius von Deuce. He's a half elf. Father is human. Mother is an elf. And he is originally from Neverwinter, the woods, where he grew up most of his life, but then in the city, trained with his father. And essentially got to a stage where, he wanted to go off and explore more of life. He's very inquisitive. He's very much, wants to, he's kind of like a good person, but maybe doesn't always go about it in the right way. And basically hears all this stuff about what's going on in Icewind Dale, heads up there, is there for about a month, looks to leave because he can't get any real information, and then ends up getting stuck with these guys and decides that he wants to help them out because sounds like it should be a good time, and excuse me, an extra hand's obviously going to help them out. I think currently his relationship with Fairkettle is a little bit strained, I think, just because obviously very different lifestyles. He's trying to he's a bit he doesn't agree with a lot of stuff going on, but he also doesn't understand it fully. And I think from her point of view, it's like, you're a fucking idiot. You haven't seen the horrors of this. So I think at the moment their relationship's a bit strained, but I think with any luck we shall see that hopefully develop in an understanding of one another. Yeah, and that's me.
Oh, there we go. And then finally, but no means least, Greg and his little dragon friend there.
Yeah, he's being endlessly entertaining in the background, just running into things. to bring him over. I think he's going to bed now. Look at that face. He's just like, yeah, I'll sleep here. That's cool.
Yay.
My character is Zufira Snowbeard, and I could do the rap if you want.
It was fun.
Yes.
I'll do it one more time. I'll even do it this time. I'll do it in Zufira's accent if I can. So, in West Icewind Dale, I was born and raised. In the tundra is where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, tracking, relaxing all pretty, and all shooting some game outside of the city. When a big lynch mob that was up to no good started hunting Dende out in Lonelywood. I couldn't save the dragon and I fell to despair. I said, I'm moving through the mountains to Neverwinter. I pulled up to the range with a succulent pack, and I yelled to 10 towns, I'm never coming back. Till an avalanche foiled my southward venture, and I returned to the towns as a dwarf of adventure.
Yes,
Really
yes.
good.
You can clap and cheer now. Send
Really?
money to my Venmo, my Patreon, my PayPal, and my coffee.
Your coffee.
Fund my coffee.
Excellent. Well then, who would like to do the recap this week?
I'll do it because it's been a little
Okay.
while. So, we left our heroes started off last session, and basically the first thing we did, we the time before that we had spoken to Olivessa. I'll get her name right. Olivessa about the political election that was coming up on the Sunday. So we started off by going, let's go and talk to Shanda Froth, who was this dwarf who was very friendly with the woodcutters, and go and find out what he's about and find out why nobody likes him, basically. As we do this, we go off to this, it's like a wood lodge, isn't it? I think there's a few of them that live in there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there was a couple of them outside, and we asked the older of the two to go and fetch Shanda Froth, and we were met with a very aggro dwarf who he really wasn't very forthcoming, and basically what we learnt was that he's a bit of an arse hat, and he didn't want to tell us anything. So we were like, "Oh, this is a bit suspicious." Cassius tried to intimidate him, failed, and so he stormed off, and Fairkettle was just basically like, "You know what? Let's just leave. Like, there's no point staying here. We know that this guy's clearly something's up with him. Let's go."
The bigger halfling.
But before we left, I don't know who it was. I think it was you that spoke to. Was it like Jack or something? The name of the character?
Oh, the boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name was.
James,
it
wasn't it?
was Jace.
Jace, that's
Jace.
it.
Yeah, because you had the younger one.
Yeah, that was Jace.
Who was Jace, and then you had the older one, Jack, and they were both like.
Oh, his name. I didn't know. I don't think we actually found out the older one's name.
I think so.
I don't think you did actually.
No.
No.
So we said. I think one of us spoke to Jace, and it was more the fact that he was like, "Oh yeah, Shanda Froth's lovely," but he was like, "Oh, if I hear anything untoward, I'll come and tell you." We just told him we were in the in the brewery, basically. So as we went back, I believe Quinn went to study the Chardalin to find out more about it, basically, and so went off and did that for a good chunk of the day, and ended up getting a bit paranoid and hearing voices and all this sort of stuff, and kind of got affected by it, but learnt that it was a religious symbol and could be used as daggers and swords and things like this. And it comes. Is it Neveril is the place? I can't remember. I've got Neveril written down, but I don't know if that's the person.
never real.
Well, it's like the time period, isn't it?
Yeah, the time period that is like
That's it.
found in,
Yeah,
and
so it's
then
back
started
in.
manufacturing and things like
Yeah.
that.
So that's where it's from.
Yeah, like saying like it back in like Neanderthal times or like.
So you were doing that.
While you trained guards, I studied the Chardalin. While you went to parties, I studied the Chardalin. And now you
True.
ask for my help?
Yes.
Sorry.
And so
I know those memes.
I can't remember what the other two. I think Amelia was in the pub all day, and I think Sophia was that the time when you went off with Thingy Dende?
Probably hanging out in the wild with Den.
Yeah. So that happened. I went off to train with the militia, and then we all kind of congregated in the evening, and there was a decision to go and check out this house at night, basically. And I believe it was just the three of us. Quinn stayed back because being a bit like paranoid and exhausted from like doing the stuff and dealing with this evil magic essentially. And so the three of us went off to check out this Shandafroth's house at night, and it looked like it was just like people going to bed. This is where I think we found out that most of them lived there. But we ended up finding tracks that were leading away from the house into the woods, and these tracks went quite a distance and then started to veer off in a very specific direction, which was towards Bryn Shander and Targos, basically from where we are in Goodmead. We didn't know which city to start with, but basically they were off in that direction. It's like, oh, this is interesting. And so we didn't enter the house at night. There was a funeral for the previous speaker the next day, so it was decided that the two stealthiest people, being Amelia and Sufira, will go and attempt to look around the house, see if we can find out more about Shander Froth, and hope that he's not there during this time that this funeral was on. So what happened was during the funeral, I was a little bit cautious, so I was like on a hill or a high place, sort of overwatching it. Quinn was part of it, and then both Amelia and Sufira went into the house and cased out the entire place stealthily, and ended up finding a note from a guy called Narif Max Dinar or something, Maxil Dinar, and I believe this note was for Shander Froth, and in that note, it basically said, you need to become a speaker of this town, or you'll be killed / thrown back. I'm not quite sure how that was taken. So it was discovered that something was going on with him. There were some nefarious things going on. And so after they had returned from the house, we all met up after the funeral at the inn, or the brewery. And
You missed the most important part about the discovery in the house.
Oh, the clothes. Clearly the clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Of course,
may or may not have been put on. So, but yeah, that was discovered. Anyway, we reconvened, and it was decided that we were going to lay an ambush behind the wood lodge, far enough away so it wouldn't disturb anybody. And we basically set up an ambush, and we ended it where we could hear people coming. Sounded like a lot more people than we first thought. The only thing that we didn't do was talk about a plan as to what would happen when this happens. So we're basically there. We're about to find out who these people are, and
there was a brief plan. The plan was essentially that we don't know enough about his motives. We only have the letter to go on, so we want to confront him and find out more in a situation where we can go, hey, you need to tell us this now because we've got you in the middle of the woods, and if you're going to try and take over the town for nefarious reasons, we have you at advantage. So that was the whole point.
Yeah.
But then we didn't have a plan for him coming back with troops.
No.
So,
well, we didn't
don't.
expect that, to be fair. That caught us off guard.
Yeah, we guess he went back to get help.
Yeah.
But also he leaves every month to go somewhere that subordinates didn't know where he went. He just
I think we know it's Targos, because it says in Targos that's where Maxildar is. Because that was a part of the thing was come back to Targos for help. So,
I meant
Shander.
The boy told us that he
Jace.
leaves every month to go somewhere,
right.
but the boy didn't know where he went.
Yes,
but we know that's Targos.
We know he's come to. We can infer that it's Targos.
Infer, so sure. We don't know for sure.
But so that's basically where we're at this point. We are hearing these footsteps. We're all hiding in different places, I imagine, in a circle.
Behind a tree.
None of us expected there to be so many footsteps.
Because I will take us over to the correct map.
Now, I've been thinking about this all week of what I would want to do, but we'll see what happens.
Where is it?
Slay him hard.
There's
that
more
option?
There's more. It was in my head. It seems really cool, or it'd be a massive epic fail. So it's kind of like,
all right.
It's a big map.
What I want you to do first of all is, like I say, marking your HP and all that sort of stuff. HP and armor values.
And I think I've changed my shoes.
We should be at full.
Oh yeah,
this was just copy and paste each time.
Yeah,
it's just that hasn't changed. Oh,
hello.
Just check that's my AC as well. Yep. Cool.
Let's get Dende on the board. I think he's not there. Something underneath me.
Uh,
25
that's
and
not half bar.
25.
the dragon place, whichever tokens you needed.
Yep.
18.
And I assume we get to sort of pre-place ourselves
Yeah.
whenever, because we obviously
Yeah,
have
sure.
hours,
So move yourself around basically where you are now.
So
Which direction are they coming from?
basically, we didn't know that. What we did know is where the path was that they took. So like maybe you
No,
could
I meant,
draw the line of the
where's
path.
the
Yeah.
sound? Where's the sound
So
coming from
The
of them
sound.
walking?
Yeah, but like this was hours ago. We
Right.
sort of pre-set up. What we would know is like the route, like the footpath. that they
Oh,
would
right.
take
Sorry.
through.
Yes, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So if we
You're
know
you're
that.
deep in the woods at the moment.
Yep.
There isn't a path, so
I'll go
to
over
speak.
here.
It's
I'll
just
go
like
over
the
there.
sound is coming from this.
Yeah, but I mean, like obviously, I was tracking them with survival,
Yeah.
so I knew like I was
Must
following their
know-
footsteps.
Yeah.
Where were the footsteps going?
Well, through
right.
this.
Oh,
I mean, like,
they
he's
headed
going
north
in
and then
that
they veered off.
direction.
And the route they would likely take back on this footpath. I imagine maybe it's not that specific.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean like if Targos is over here and they're walking this way towards
Yeah.
us? Kind
Yeah,
of
it's
thing.
true. That is what's happening.
Yeah.
That's what I get. I get you now.
Okay.
Yeah, north.
Yeah.
There's like
'Cause
a
we
road.
don't want to be in the way. We want to be watching from the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So arrange yourselves.
Well,
How are you
where
feeling?
is that?
I think Targos is in this direction, isn't it?
Yeah, north.
And
West.
where's the hut? Where's the house
then
in comparison?
We're coming from the bottom right. Was
So
it?
the house. The
Not near the
house.
house.
It's down here, presumably.
Yeah, you're nowhere near the house because you travelled out for like.
No,
an
I know,
hour.
but in the direction of. So we know
that way.
Targos is. So the bottom corner of the map, then, yeah.
Yeah.
Like okay.
Okay.
Good meters south.
So we would
Targos
probably
is
I
north.
think here's a quite a
Northwest.
good.
I would have thought by these rocks, but the trees are good too. Trees is probably more cover for four of us. So
Yeah, there's small bushes there and things like that.
Yeah, I guess I'll join you guys over here.
I think I'll have Dende right behind me and just be at the front tree.
Okay.
All right. So if we're picking up, hearing off these footsteps, at what point, or at least when I can visibly see these people, like let me know, because I guess that's going to determine what I would do. But
Yeah,
we
I've
haven't.
definitely like loosened, like taken my axe out of his holder.
Okay.
Like have
Well-
my shield on my arm because I'm expecting this to
Got
go
the daggers
south
ready.
pretty
Yeah.
quick.
So
Yeah,
Vera's
I'm
first
expecting
instinct
this
hearing
to-
multiple footsteps is just alarm and then looking at the rest
Yeah.
of the group.
Oh, Quinn's just expecting this to go bad.
Yeah.
Like Quinn's like, this is villain. This are villain people.
Burn people.
This is gonna go bad. But I'll let
Okay.
them talk.
Well, out of it is. So as we left off, you arrange yourselves where you like, which is there,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can start to see one figure emerge. There's not a trodden path or anything. They're literally
No.
just walking
Yeah.
in the woods, and you can clearly see now that there's the dwarf that you've all come to know as Shandafroth. He is walking there. And behind him, you can see multiple other people.
I recognise those tokens.
Yeah, they are the traditional
D&D. Yeah.
bug token. You know,
Is it a bug?
they all look.
Hug.
they
Oh,
all
fuck.
look-
Sorry.
Yeah.
They all look. You know, each one looks
Yeah.
different, obviously.
That's how they started.
Alright.
Be thugs.
Yeah, and they are just moving.
When-
What I'll do is I'll move the front one and then say
Yeah.
when.
Yeah.
So
So there's.
Farrell in the back of my head going, cast fireball. Right.
Yeah.
So basically, what I want to do, right, when he gets to about here, right, I'm gonna step out and stop him, right, unless anybody wants to do anything before that. So I'm gonna.
The
No,
rest
alright,
of them
okay.
are going to be about there.
Yeah,
I
that's
If you
think.
just look to the group
Probably.
in a kind of a panic, being like, "What now?" That's
So
what she
let me
done.
let me give you my thought process, right? So I'm thinking we've got a rogue, we've got a really good sharpshooter, and we've got, someone with magic, right? I'm gonna distract them. And this is in my head. I'm sitting
Oh,
expecting you guys
God.
to come round the
Quinn
back.
definitely thinks you have more of a plan than
Yeah,
this.
so I'm like, it's all good. So I'm gonna step out, and I'm gonna say, halt, towards them, and I'm gonna say while looking at them, and this is either gonna go really well or really badly. I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna try an intimidation check because as far as I'm concerned, right? I don't know who these people are, but they're bad news, right? So I'm like, we need to get rid of them. I'm going to try to intimidate them and try and get them to flee by saying, those of you that do not wish to die this night, turn around and go back the way you came. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to, because I haven't done this yet, cause my whip to appear in my hand. So I've got, no weapon. I hold out my hand, and this, green energy comes, and my whip just materializes, and I just, crack it. And I'm just going to see if I can intimidate these people.
See how well you do.
I spent all week thinking about this. I was like, you know what? This will go really well or really badly. Right.
Juvir is like, this was his plan.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed. Quinn is not happy.
Oh, good.
Would have been better to step out as a group. I think
fine.
if intimidation was the goal, but I'm amused watching. I'm watching Phil's face to just watch how this all goes down.
Yeah.
So he just, he steps out, says, leave now, or you will not die this evening.
Hold your
Just goes,
peace.
whoosh, that makes this loud, cracking and echoing throughout the forest. And, that's what I do.
So Shandafroth stops in his tracks. The rest of the group behind come to a stop as well. And just at you cracking the rip, I think there is a hesitation, and then everybody reaches for their swords, for their weapons, but none are drawn. Because they fully expect Shanda's pretty much the leader here.
Yeah, they're waiting for his command, basically.
As the formation would suggest. And he goes, it's you again. I can see you could do a bit of magic, I suppose. But why are you out here?
Well,
Juvira's going to step out at this point.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk while you're doing this, or do you wish to say something?
She's just going to step. Yeah, she's going to say something. And she's just going to say, look at Cassius, and then back to Shandar and go, stand down. We don't want this. We don't want to fight. Shandar, we just want to know what your real intentions for the town are. This doesn't have to end badly. But we went into your house. We found everything. We found the note.
We found the clothing.
No.
You trust
I wasn't gonna do it.
We know what you wear on the weekends.
Back in character. It's just we don't want this to end badly, but we need to know what you want for Goodmead. She looks back at the rest of the group like, fucking back. She'll step in line with
moving, staying where she is.
And
I'll come out.
Dende will step up next to her and try to look a little bit intimidating.
Yeah, I'll come over.
Yeah, okay. So he watches you all. He watches you guys emerge. And at the mention of you guys going through the house and finding the note, his eyes, there's a flare of real annoyance, and then you can see the cogs are turning and he's thinking. And then he looks over his shoulder and goes, just stay here for a minute. I will go and sort this out personally. And he beckons to you, Zafira, and points to the ruins that are just over there. And he says, if you really want to know what's going on, then fine. Come and listen to what I got to say.
Very well. And Dende is following her, if he has any objection with that.
We basically go over here.
I would like to, with my character, kind of sneak around, far enough away that I'm not drawing sight or attention, using the trees as cover. So almost taking... Where's me? Kind of going this way.
Yeah, I got my
kind of looping around here.
Shield, on my arms. Not like a fighting stance.
Okay, you could do that. Are you doing stealth sort of thing, or just casually walking?
Oh, stealth. Yeah, definitely stealth.
Give me give me a stealth check to see how well you do.
Yeah, I get advantage because of my cloak. 17 on stealth.
17. I'm just going to run through checks.
I should have chucked the boomerang at him and knocked him out.
So I'm like, well, if we just kill him, then the fun's
You,
will
as
just
far as
leave.
your knowledge concerns, you are hidden. So you do make it round there without anybody seeing you.
Cool, so I'll probably
Disappointed.
sneak away around here,
Hmm.
kind of snoop back, and probably I'll probably be like here. So I'm close enough that I can overhear the conversation, but
Okay.
not
Well,
close
like,
enough that I reveal myself.
Like looking through all my spells, like sleep. Should I try and cast something while this is like going on?
They'll
That
go
would be
meet the
quite
swing.
funny.
Have
No
them
need
fall
to
on the
farm it.
ground.
Yeah, snooker with moonbeam.
I don't want to start fighting. I was trying to scare them away so we wouldn't have to fight, but didn't succeed in doing
Point
so.
assuming this is going to go bad.
Yeah.
Well, you're
Like, why
one
does a
half
bad
elf.
guy
There's like
need-
8 of them.
Yeah, why does a bad guy need like an army of thugs?
Yeah.
Not suspicious.
Cassius ain't afraid of these people.
I'm
So-
suspicious.
He goes, gets you all gathered up, and he's not talking loudly. He doesn't want the others to hear much. So he says, first of all, if you've got this note, let's see it.
I don't have it. Didn't bring it here.
Annoying.
Yeah. Sufera
Um,
knows that.
Not that dumb.
And she's not
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah, that's
She's not
fine.
gonna give the note over anyway.
He frowns for a second and then goes,
Wolf,
the
wolf.
the reason why I can see you people are much. You could be a pain in my side if left unchecked, I suppose. So I'll let you in on
The
why
side of
I'm
what?
doing this. Well, you all standing against me in this running for the election, and therefore I would be in trouble. He goes on to explain. The reason why I have these people with me is because me and my fellow loggers were going to stage a fight in the center of Goodmead. So it would make it look like I would win and my friends would win, and we would kick these lot out of town. And that would put me in good standing to become elected.
That's no
And that
bullshit.
And that would shift the balance.
Inside check. Inside check.
Yeah, it can do one.
Yeah, sure.
I
I
I'll
guess
give
I'm
an
too
insight
far
check.
away.
He
Yeah.
hasn't finished explaining, but if you want to, and then I'll tell you afterwards.
Is it? Yeah. Well, it's just because they're all fucking saying it. It's a 9 anyway.
No.
Yeah,
So don't worry about it. Just keep going.
yeah. He goes
These are
on
not
to
the truth.
say, the thing is where is it? In Targos, Neveril Max it
Maxidil.
Nerth Max Sildanar.
the leader of he says that name, has me over a barrel, and if I don't become the leader of this Goodmead, then my life would be forfeit. So therefore, I've tried to figure out a way of securing my position by staging a little brawl, I suppose.
That doesn't answer my question. What's the purposes of this? What do you want with Goodmead? What are you going to do once you gain power? If you gain power?
Well, like I said, it was all true. The things that I offered you yesterday was I will continue to help Goodmead. I'm not going to do anything, dastardly with it or anything. It's a small town. There's not much going here. Yeah, you got your mead, I suppose, but there's lots to improve on. He waits for you guys to reply.
This Nerth, tell me about him. He's the one who needs you to do this. Why are you so afraid of him? Who is he?
Well, like I say, he's the leader of Targos, his townspeople of Targos. He has the guard at his back, along with the captain, and he's quite an influential man. He's doing wonders for Targos itself as well, keeping everything in order. Those kind of things. But I can't simply talk about my past to people that I've only met, in the space of a day or so.
Dodge.
He's gonna fucking die. Oops,
Shandar,
do that.
I don't think
Sorry.
I
the
don't think you
concept.
understand the position you're in here, Shandar. We know everything about you. We need to know. We're trying to do the best for Icewind Dale here. Listen, I know you don't know us or me, but I'm trying to do the best I can here.
You
I
can,
know the problems Icewind Dale has. I grew up here, and I assume he did as well. I assume I can tell from like accent and things like that.
yeah. He
Surprised you're not speaking in
No.
Dwarvish to each
he
other.
didn't grow
They
up
probably
here.
are.
Oh, yeah.
What if I spoke Dwarvish to him? Does he understand it?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
dwarf as well.
I can
So
speak Dwarvish
same.
as well.
Sure.
We can all speak Dwarvish, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
Except
we'll
me.
assume for now we've been
Please
speaking
don't speak
common, but I
Dwarvish.
might use it. Yeah.
and that's specifically
It's a
said. So
broad
just
covering
gonna
of
talk
languages. Everyone's got Dwarvish.
I can speak
So
Elvish
she
common.
says
Uh,
that. She says,
yeah.
yeah.
He has. I think for you being here for so long, like he is not a native. Like he didn't grow up here.
Interesting.
He is from
So I know
somewhere else, but he's been here a long time as well.
Okay, so in that case,
It's probably born
she'll
somewhere else and come into Icewind Dale.
She-
Can you make me a
she'll.
persuasion check? I want to see if you get through to him
She's
or
going to
not.
attempt to stick her
Okay,
tongue
well,
down his
I've got a
gob.
little more to say, but I'll make a persuasion check as a general thing. Jesus Christ, a natural 20 with
all right,
which my -1 is a 19.
Okay.
But I'm
Well,
gonna
for that-
say, listen, you aren't from Icewind Dale. I am. I'm invested in this place as much as I sometimes try not to be. I do care about what happens to these people. I do want to make it better if I can. So if you're standing in the way of that, don't think you're important to me. You need to tell me everything, or I can't protect you.
He switches to Dwarven and says, "Do you understand?"
Aye.
Okay. He's solely focused on you now, and because you got so high in your damn roll, uh, he says, "Where's the out of here?"
Men, kill yourselves. They all kill themselves. We still get the XP from the encounter.
Shut the fuck up.
Where is
So
it?
at this point, America was just like, fuck it, and can't sleep.
Boring.
I wanna kill people too as a combat encounter, but
Yeah, we might get
not
that.
right now.
Hey,
Uh,
it's just like Wasteland 3, talking about.
he says in Dwarvish, "Okay, I'll let you in on a little secret, and that will. This is the last tip you're going to get. Otherwise, I shouldn't be giving out this much information. I've done something not that I'm not proud of at all. I got somebody into trouble, and it resulted in a death. That was back in the town or city of Maribar. I'll copy and paste that. Yeah, dyslexia.
Mirror
Maribar, which actually is
Where the
just
fuck is
below the mountain range next to one of the rivers. So it is literally on the other side of the spine of the world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not one of the 10
Yeah,
towns.
he's not like really far down the continent or anything. It's literally just over the mountain range. So yes, he says that, and then he goes
Oh,
quiet as
yeah.
if like embarrassed about it. Yeah.
Insight check to see if they're the Frostmaiden.
Yeah, got blue eyes.
Is that the end of it, or?
So he goes on to say then, he's like, in order to keep myself safe, this is why I need to stage this little brawl.
Mirabar? Why would someone in Icewind Dale in Targos care about what happened in Miradar? What?
Because he's
Why
got
Nerth got you over a barrel?
exactly because like, wanted for supposed murder. So therefore he's
Oh.
so therefore he's
Oh.
so therefore he's getting me to do this. So what I'm saying to you is, if you help me stage this fight, we can then work together to. Oh, at that point, I would ask you to help me so that I can get myself clear and in safety.
I think you and your friends need to take a short break, go and sit down for 10 minutes. Me and my friends are going to have a chat. I need to talk to them about what we're going to do. Is that okay with you?
As he
Or
opens
we
his
go
mouth,
any further?
you can hear like a yell coming from them, and they're clearly getting impatient. And he waves up another hand, it's like, in a minute, and he
Cassius
goes,
just pisses on.
yeah, okay. I will go back and
Quick
talk to my men, but I say my men, his men. They are they've they've been paid to do this, so they do want to carry out their job, but I will go and steady them for a minute. But you don't have much time, so consider.
Okay.
And he starts to walk off and goes back to the
Yeah,
group.
and Zufira will stride back to her party. Then
Were
down
they
her-
Other
speaking
way,
loud?
other way. Oh yeah, no, okay. We better.
Were they speaking loud enough for me to hear them?
I think we were a bit far away, weren't we?
Might be a
Well, you're like 30 foot away.
I know, but they were probably whispering. I would guess it.
Are we kind of going
Yeah.
away the other way from them? I guess we
Like,
don't want to be next to them.
30 feet. That's
Well, yeah,
like
we're
listening
going
to
to.
someone
You
down
guys
the
can
hallway.
stay in the ruined bit, for instance, and then
We're-
they're just going to be outside.
I'm just walking over to the party at first to just be like,
No.
"Hey, okay, we need to
okay.
talk now."
I don't want to move from I want to block their path. So wherever we go, I want to be diagonally
Yeah,
blocking their
sure.
path.
I was just gonna back away back down to
Yeah.
like the southeast corner a little bit, like
Yeah.
20,
Do you want me
30
to
feet.
do a check to see if I could hear what they said? Or...
You can give me a perception check to see if you can pick up on, to see how much of the conversation you were listening to. Which
21.
was apparently all of it. So
Okay.
Cassius was too focused on the
Nearly
people in front
What a waste of a roll.
of me. Yeah.
Oh, well.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I was going to know.
So she will then relay
Actually,
everything
it's
that
all
was said.
huddled up together in a
Yeah.
little circle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, huddle up.
good. She will go. So, I managed to get some information out of him. He is a bit of a scumbag. Turns out he killed somebody back in Mirabar, and
Right.
this
I knew
Nerth
it. I knew
has
it.
the dirt on him, and this Nerth has him over a barrel and says if he doesn't become the leader of Goodmead, his life is forfeit. With all these people, he was going to bring them into town, stage them as bandits, and then fight them off with his men and gain the trust of the townspeople that way. So, what do we do? He says everything he wanted for the town, everything he was going to try and improve. He says he was honest about that. But this is under the thumb of this Nerth, and whoever this Nerth is, apparently the town speaker of Targos, seems like a bit of a thug to me.
Do we know anything about this Neth other than him being a ruler of Targos?
But the fact that he's blackmailing this man into trying to take over Goodmead seems like he wants to expand his reach beyond Targos.
Seems like we should pay him a visit.
It's also with the more short-term problems, how will these people take it if they lose the election? I feel like it might be better to deal with this problem now.
We have two options as
We,
far as
who's
I
we
see.
losing the election?
Olivius. Lola Vessa, sorry.
Yeah, I say just anyone. If he loses, is there any guarantee that it won't turn into bloodshed either way?
But
We
we
don't
haven't
know that.
decided yet that we still don't want him. I mean, it's an option. It's an option that we could let him win.
If we let him win, then he must come back to town with us, and these folk must leave tonight. They are not coming back to the town with us. My personal option would be to get them to leave without any fighting, but if we have to crack a few skulls, then so be it.
They always put on an easy little show. It's not going to be a real fight.
No, I do not trust. I do not trust this person.
I don't like lying to my neighbors just to help a murderer succeed in a plot created by another speaker of a town. I don't see why any of this is going to be good for Goodmead.
I agree.
I don't think this man has it in it.
I do, however, have no problem protecting him from this Neff. Obviously, we need to go pay this gentleman a visit, but as for these thugs right now, they need to be gone.
Okay. I think we can put that to him. Perhaps tell him that this isn't going to happen. He's not becoming the Speaker of Goodmead. But we perhaps might be able to help him if he helps us.
That seems like the best option we have, because
With
no other option is good.
I will say this with the with it being tomorrow, I think the only way to protect him is to let him become speaker, even if for a short while. Provide them the illusion that he has become speaker, but know that he is within our thrall, and that is how we can, as far as Mr. Nath Maxildanar knows, everything has gone to his plan, and then we come in and shake that plan apart. If we force him to lose, then we don't know what the repercussions of that will be. It could be an army, it could be more thugs. It's very possible that we hold all of the cards here, knowing what this gentleman knows. He could be our thrall, our inside man, so to speak. We could learn a lot from him. Perhaps fighting might not be the best choice here.
I would say that while I have no problem protecting him, putting apparently a murderer as a speaker of this town does not sit well with me.
Also, we're assuming that he's lived a life of a clergyman or monk beforehand. You're kind of assuming that, like, oh yeah, he just did a murder, and now he's like owned by this guy, and he's poor little froth. But I doubt he's lived a life of virtue. I doubt he has the best interest in his heart for Goodmead.
Deceiving a town, even if it's for, I don't know, it doesn't sit well with me.
If we found out more murder, perhaps we could get a more of a measure of this guy. Whether it was an accident, or whether it was planned, or whether it was premeditated.
A few days in the prison cell will probably loosen his tongue.
I laugh. Cassius laughs, smirks, and laughs.
I don't think we're going to get more out of him out here, I'll tell you that much. He was very reluctant to tell me that.
Well,
I guess, what do we do now?
Sufira, seeming as you were the one speaking to him, maybe it'd be best that you speak to him again, as my attempt did not go particularly how I imagined it would, but
I'm happy to do so. But
if you offer up this idea, then I believe.
Which idea? Sorry. I'm
Try and get him to come back to town with us and get these people to leave, and that we will deal with the rest of the details while going back to town, and hopefully that will solve this.
So
I will tell him that he will not become speaker, if that's we're in agreement with saying and doing, and that
that's
they have
will
to leave.
almost certainly result in a fight. Perhaps not telling him not he won't be speaker is.
So what?
Just
We need
Just
to
tell him-
understand more about the story. We need to know his side of the story before we jump to conclusions. If he's just simply been blackmailed, we don't know if he's a genuinely good man or not. We have no information. All we know is he's been blackmailed into taking over this as speaker. That's all we know. And yes, he may have had a shady past, but that doesn't make him a shady or bad person. We do not have all the facts. At this time, I think the topic for who should become speaker is still very much an open-ended question. All we want is for his thralls, his minions to leave, and then we will discuss the, details of what will happen over the next day or two, perhaps in the comfort of his log cabin, where we can understand the situation better, then make a decision. I feel like if we turn around and say no, you're not becoming speaker right off the back, we will be in a fight, and I don't
think
like our
you're
odds.
underestimating him. Just because he's not necessarily evil doesn't also mean that therefore he is good.
I
And
never
is
said he
there
was.
Charity case. I feel like this is gonna go bad.
Perhaps this is good to have an inside man, someone who knows the plans of our enemies, enemy of our enemy, and all that.
Then
you can start to hear the crowd
all right.
of folks get restless.
Yeah.
And
Then-
you look over
Yeah.
and you can see that he's starting to lose control of them, as
Right.
it were.
Alright.
I say-
Before anything happens, I'm gonna give Eyes of Night to Amelia.
Oh, cool.
Sure.
Awesome.
You don't.
I was just gonna say to
Just
Zafira,
Amelia again? I always have to ask.
I was
You can
going to say
see in the dark, can't you?
Yeah, 60 feet.
Yeah, they're
What's
like
your-
30 feet away. I'm
What's
thinking more
your
like
range
Amelia's
about at the
blind.
moment? Because I think I've
I
not
mean,
got
it's
a
free.
ball or anything.
I can tap you
Give me
as
the-
well.
Give me the fucking eyes of night. Thank you.
Fine, I give you
Right.
both Eyes of Night.
Thank
All I
you.
do have to do is touch you, and you just get my vision.
Right.
It's not like I need to cast a
before
spell or
before we
anything.
suddenly go over and talk to these guys,
So it looks like I've just like tapped you on the shoulder, basically.
I just say to Saphira, I'm like, for now, just lie. Just tell him if these people leave, and we will talk about his terms becoming the speaker. But they need to leave, and then when we take him back to town, we can put him in a cell or something and deal with that. But we just
Right.
lie to his face right now and just tell him that
I'll
yes,
try. Okay. I'll
just
try.
like anything to get these people to go away, basically.
Pull out my
She's gonna-
necklace.
She's like rubbing her face as she walks back over to Shandar. And she's like, "Okay, can we just talk real quick one more time?"
Okay. And you can see the other men getting annoyed at this point
Yeah,
because
Okay.
they just want to get on, you know.
yeah.
Yep.
Amelia runs away.
Ah,
I'm going back to my hidey hole.
yeah.
So
Yes, I'll
Happy to roll a stealth check if you need me to.
stand next to you.
she says, "Listen, I've spoken to them. They're not happy about these people coming into town. They want them to leave. They said we can discuss terms about maybe you becoming the speaker, but they don't want these people to come into town."
Ooh. Feels like
I don't know if you want me to roll a deception check
Yeah,
for that,
roll
because
the.
yeah,
So
but you're not
persuade. or
technically lying,
persuasion?
though, are you?
she's
Hey.
well. I don't. It's kind of on the edge. Like I think she
Lying
doesn't
through,
really
yeah.
want him to become speaker.
But you're not
She just
saying
wants them to leave.
yeah, you're not saying
Yeah.
anything untruthful currently. I would say. You're not saying that you want him to or not want him to.
But you also admitting.
Still, you make the
things.
call. Tell me what to
Yeah.
roll. I mean, it's the same either way, whether it's persuasion.
Yeah,
or
I'd say it was
deception.
more deception than persuasion.
Okay. I just didn't think you were being deceptive in what you said there.
Sounds like it still sounds like you're persuading somehow.
Sure. They're the same, so I'll
they're
just
the
make
same
a roll.
roll anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking it's
That's
deception because you're withholding.
I
Oh,
click
right.
the button. Just
Not
waiting
same roll, is it?
if it's laggy. I'll try clicking
Well, they're
again.
both charisma. so
Oh,
it
right. I
means-
see. Yeah,
16.
Not terrible. The
Pretty
minus
good
one.
rolls.
Yeah, that's
Hot
pretty
damn.
good. Not 17.
The minus one charisma leader of the group.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It works. Like you get through to him.
Holy shit.
And he goes, whatever happens, I still need to become town speaker so that I'm not, so that he doesn't come after me and my deals aren't broken or anything like that. So, well, I guess we'll have to figure out another way. But what are you going to tell them? What are you going to tell the guys over there, though? Because, like, they're raring to go.
You paid them, didn't you? They don't have to do the job. They just get paid.
True.
Shut the fuck off.
It's Cassius. Tell them to fuck off.
And
Get
dwarvish.
Because if so, Zafiro would just go.
Yeah.
No, I'm not, no, I can't hear you. I'm too busy focused
Yeah.
on them.
Okay.
I'm not focusing on you. I trust you 100%.
He's going to walk back over to the group and try and get them to go then.
Yeah, Zafiro's going to walk back over the middle to watch.
All right. Yeah, you can see them conversing, and there's another one that turns around to the rest of them, and they all huddle up, and then they start making their way just directly north. Him.
Excellent.
Whee!
Right. For once,
Zafiro
this is
just
where I should
breathed
knock
a
him out,
huge
right?
I'm about to
Relief.
say, this is where we should knock him out.
Zafiro walks back over to the group with Shandar behind her, and the group can just see her face like.
You need to go out for a walk on your own.
Proud of you.
Right. Just like.
Cash just gives her a thumbs up.
Like Shanda's looking both grumpy and like flicks of worriedness in him and all that kind of thing. There's like a lot of emotions at work here.
Mm.
It's
Yeah,
like
there's-
if the plan had just gone to the plan,
Yeah.
but no, pesky
this-
adventurers.
I guess at this point, I would come out of the shadows as well a little bit.
Like,
And regroup. Yeah. Hello.
Okay,
Cool.
takes notice of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shall
Before we-
we? Go on.
Go on. No,
I
no,
was
no,
gonna
no, no,
say,
sorry.
shall we head back to the lodge so that we can discuss our next plan of action?
It's a good plan.
So yeah, let's get out of these woods already.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And
Out the cold.
Listen to bed. Look at him, he's so sleepy.
He's
Well-
spinning in a circle.
While
yeah,
we're walking
leave
back
these woods.
towards the town, I'm going to try and like whisper very quietly towards Quinn.
Hmm.
And
I'm
ask-
definitely like at the back of the group.
Yeah, so if
Or
we're
they
behind,
keep
let's say
an
you.
eye- or they keep an eye on Froth.
So let's say you and me are at the back, and I whisper to you, and I say, "Does your town have any like prison cells or jail cells that we can put him in for the night?" Is there
There
any-
must be
It will have
some kind, even if it's like a
building.
drunk
It-
tank
yeah.
or something.
It
Yeah,
will
like
have
just like a
pretty
locked
much-
room.
yeah, stuff like that.
Let's say. Yeah, maybe that like where she just like stops like a couple of steps. Just like I don't know if it's best to have a meeting before. He hasn't technically done anything wrong. Anyone within Goodmead can stand for election.
Hmm.
Maybe we should have a meeting with the town and you can bring this evidence out and then see how the people vote.
Seems fair.
But I feel like he'll probably end up in a cell of some kind.
Mm.
I can't imagine the townspeople will be thrilled with this evidence, but
He nods. He's like, sounds reasonable.
maybe it's best to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, he's in agreement then. Just worried this guy's going to escape, so I guess he's a bit like, but yeah. No,
Yeah, I think like Quinn is like, if he escapes, he escapes. Like Quinn doesn't really mind. That just means he's not going to be in charge of good meat, so she
Yeah.
gets what she wants anyway.
Yeah.
So.
It's a
Alright,
good
yeah.
time to ask, Phil. Like, what's your ruling on Hunter's Mark being a stealthy thing? Like, if I were to put Hunter's Mark on him, does he know that some magical effect is on him? Just a good time to ask, in case I would to want
It's
to
a funny
use.
thing because
Oh, it
in the
doesn't-
past, when I put it on you guys, I've made you aware that it's on you guys. Like there's a wash of something funny feeling, and then it fades. But like I can see it's on you. So yeah, I've always had it that there is like it's like something comes over your mind, and then
So
it
he would
fades.
know if I were to cast it on him right now. So I'm not going to do that.
I think you would have to like probably distract him and then cast it, or make him like focused on something instead of just like walking through the snow.
But if he
Fine.
runs out of character, if he runs, I can point at him in Hunter's Mark, and then
Yes,
I know where he is for the next 24
because
hours.
then he'll be running and looking where he's going and dodging,
If-
tree
if-
stumps. And things.
Yeah.
If you want to distract him, get Amelia to put on the maid's clothes.
I
Pretend to
think
be
he's
him.
probably. I mean, I'm the dwarf.
I have to say,
That's true, actually.
Sophia is probably the best attempt at that.
I mean, you're the one wanting to cast a spell,
You
so why
got
would you
minus
distract
one
him?
charisma though.
I mean, my rolls have been pretty good for charisma thus far this campaign.
yeah.
The intimidate checks.
Why don't we go back to the little house and we can go sit in there?
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
cozy.
It is so cozy house.
Look at that. We avoided conflict. I'm so proud of us.
I'm proud of
How-
you guys too.
Went a lot better than I
It
expected.
is interesting because Cassius seems to like violence but also hate violence.
No,
It's
so
so weird.
I
Amelia's
at no
really
point-
confused with this entire thing where Cassius like, we always talk first and then fight later, but then he's the first one to have a combat, and it's like,
So- But that's what I say. His thought process was like, as a trained fighter, like he's front line, but he was never trying to start combat. He was trying to scare them away. That was the point. But I guess he's not explained that thought process to you guys. So if
No.
you ask him, he'll
oh
explain.
no,
it to
this
you, but
is just Amelia's thoughts. She's like
Yeah, like,
confused.
If he did
he-
explain it, Zufira would call him an idiot.
Yeah, it's fine. But like he literally was like, well, these guys your stealth and like what you're skilled at makes more sense that the flak comes my way, and then let you guys do what you need to do. But he was like never planning on hurting
I hope
anybody.
we have this conversation later.
Yeah, let's do it. Like someone asked me, that'd be great. Like
So
Yeah.
what happens is you get back. You went out during nighttime, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
not one
so
of
now it's the early hours of the 5th of June, for instance, and you're in the day of the election because now it's
Yeah,
the
it's the morning.
Sunday, I believe.
Hmm.
April. Yeah. So now it's the. Yeah, that is right. So now it's Sunday, early hours of the morning, and you get back to the house, and he leads you inside, and he says, "Now, keep your voice down because my friends will be upstairs sleeping, but you can
Pardon?
come into the front room for the time being, and we can discuss sort out this whole mess in there."
Sure.
And he leads you into the front room.
Never been here before.
Just sits in there.
Yeah, I'll chuck my token in.
Yeah, so you're sitting in there.
you're like, this is nice.
Whatever this is.
To be fair, to be fair,
fair, it's
Amelia
like-
never went to the front room.
Oh, lovely
Yeah, he
place.
just went upstairs,
She just went
yeah.
straight
Yeah.
upstairs. So
Straight for the clothes. I was like, ooh.
yeah.
Here's a nice room. There's nice comfy chairs. You can plainly see where he sits all the time because he goes straight to it and he
Got his
posts a
ass
little.
cheeks like in the sofa.
Amelia
Dwarven-
actually kind of likes this. It's like,
Yeah.
nice pad. As she says that,
Yeah.
nice pad.
Just digs.
Reminds me of
and
home.
So he says, "So what do you propose we do? I still need to become town speaker by today, and now this plan has gone out the window thanks to your actions. So, do
Keeping
you
my
have
mouth
any
shut.
bright
Yeah, Gwen's
ideas?
just
I
staying
guess
completely silent, so she
if
doesn't
no
have to
one
lie.
speaks, I guess Amelia will take the lead then in that case. And Amelia would probably come out with, well, I don't think you need thugs to help you gain power. We hold enough sway in this town that our votes would support you and would more than likely get you into the position that you need to survive. However, we still are not 100% behind you at this time. We need to understand more. We need to know more. Who is Nath, and why does you he holds power over you through blackmail because you, from what Saphira was saying, you killed a guy. How did that happen? We need to understand if you are a good person who had a bad time, or whether you are
A masochist.
not a murderer and just not fit for the job. We need to understand more about you. You need to open up, convince us that you are the right person for this job. I'll happily roll persuasion if I need to.
Zufira's. I don't know
I
if this would
think it's
help with
okay for the time
advantage,
being.
but Zufira's basically like looking at Amelia while she's saying this, and then looking at Shandar and kind of giving him encouraging nods, like what she's saying is right. Like you need to listen to her. Don't know if that helps at all, but like
I think
she
it's
had a
fine.
bit more of a connection with him.
I think now that he's in his own home and he's away from all those of all the other people following, that he's more comfortable. And I think through the time that you've been traveling, the hour or two back, he's become more like he is also really tired. So he's a bit more open to this. So he starts to talk about Nev to start off with. So he says Nev moved to Targos a couple of years ago, and now he lives in the Lugshan Arms. I will just copy and paste in things as I. That is basically a well-known tavern, and he owns one of the rooms upstairs. He's quite a wealthy man. He definitely has a lot of coin behind him, and since the time he's been there, he's earned a lot of the people's trust, particularly the local fishermen, because it is, as you probably know, a town that is a city based on one of the lakes. He's pretty down to earth kind of a guy, and he seemed to have risen to power in quite fast. He managed to become town speaker relatively fast as well.
So what does he stand to gain by making you speaker? I don't understand. He wants to what, improve his influence?
I believe so. I think he just wants to exactly that.
So why the blackmail? Why the subterfuge? Why coerce you into doing this?
Can you give me a persuasion check at that point? Because you can see his eyes start to dart back and forth, like they're looking at you and then looking around,
It's so
and he's
tired.
getting nervous.
Gwen's just like looking at his kneecaps, being like, "You can't just do
Oh, nat 20, baby. 24.
Ooh.
Okay.
Rolls today.
Boom.
that. So many.
Was that mine?
That's true.
No, it was all right. It was the middle of the road one.
If you can. Now I am at this point. I am throwing my lot in with you people. So at this point, my life is pretty much in your hands. I don't feel good about it, but there you are. This is what it's come to.
We can
Um,
protect you, but first we need to know what we're dealing with. If we need to pay this Nath a visit, then so be it. But we need to understand exactly what we are dealing with.
I understand. So uh, he says in more hushed tones at this point, and you all kind of like lean into, because he doesn't want anyone upstairs to hear or anything like that. He is one of the Xanatarum agents.
Ah,
Oh, Zentarum.
yeah,
Xanatarum
Zentarum.
agents, and I I don't know his full motives or his complete workings. These people are very dodgy, as you know, as you might know. I don't know, but I can only get the impression that he'll want to set up kind of like his own black market up in 10 towns and then spread his influence that way. He's a dangerous man, so I don't think you should be dealing with him.
How can somebody be down to earth yet be this dangerous? I feel like those two ideas clash, my friend.
Well, he's gotten the people on his side.
You can be
Hmm.
influential and deceptive.
But I wouldn't describe this man as down to earth.
He's putting on a show for the masses.
This is true.
That's how you become a leader sometimes, I would have thought.
So we're talking about a charismatic man who clearly wants to improve his power. And who are the Xantarim?
Yeah, like just a quick interlude.
Actually, what
Do
would
our
I
characters know of the Zentarum?
Yeah,
I don't know
would I?
what Zufira knows of them.
Yep.
I feel like
Greg knows a bit, but
maybe. Oh yeah, I know like the Dark Wizard, Bane, and stuff.
Oh,
like-
Batman.
I basically just want to see a roll to see like, okay, how much of Greg's knowledge does Zufira have?
Yeah, because in
Yeah,
Waterdeep, I can
yeah,
imagine they have a
got you.
strong presence.
One of the
back
Would that be
underground fuck-
history?
I
I wouldn't
what would
imagine
it be?
Zufira knows much.
history, I guess, would be the
Maybe
most.
history in terms of workings and things like that.
I'll roll the history.
Yeah, I do
That's
the same.
13. I reckon she probably would have
Oh,
heard
wow.
of them.
Apparently, I've
Yeah,
never
I should
heard of them
probably-
ever.
I should probably roll.
Jesus, I got that one.
Oh dear.
Well, Quinn's never heard of
I've
them.
probably heard the name and that's it. I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
I
like-
could roll it for Amelia as well.
You probably heard of it because you live in Waterdeep.
Wow.
Grew up
Amelia,
Your
there.
dad
Amelia
could
might.
fight
I
them.
certainly won't.
Yeah.
No.
I've
no,
never
but
heard
I'm
of
saying
them, but certainly try.
There we go.
Wow. Okay. I guess Amelia knows about it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know. Depends.
So possibly Amelia and Saphira, then you know a bit. Amelia obviously more. But the general history of them they were previously known as the Black Network, which was a mercenary company, and they were an organization that was just spread out over Faerun. But they started to become more catered towards self-serving thieves, spies, assassins, and malevolent wizards,
Evil wizards.
who for a time were indebted and started to worship dark gods such as Bane and Cyric.
Gonna
and
say
they did-
Baal,
Oh,
because Baal happens to be dead now.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if we all know that. Like, I think it's been a
I-
good like 10 years or so.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know if the world at large knows that Baal is dead.
But there's like the other.
Probably
Dark
would
Wizard.
because she's the daughter of the guy who killed him.
I mean, I
then-
meant the world at large. I think Amelia would, but
Oh,
Wouldn't
sure.
somebody else have taken the place
I
at this
mean,
point?
technically, with that stuff.
well, Vitharo claimed that he did, and they all supported him in that. So I think they were pretty public about it. So
yeah.
maybe, yeah.
The lie was
Certainly
spread.
from your religion, So it depends how much
Yeah.
influence our characters would have had from your religion. I say your religion, from
Probably
the religion.
quite a lot, I imagine. Quite a
Tharos.
lot, I think.
Yeah, so
It
it
was
kind of
level 20
goes.
to kill the god.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, Vithara was rather arrogant, so he probably would have definitely been like, "Hey, so I killed a god." So I'm sure it
Well,
was.
Yeah, and I mean, we did rolls back in that campaign to see how successful the religion was, and like
It
we
was
got extra
successful.
branches around the world. Yeah, it was pretty successful.
Yeah.
we know, but our characters wouldn't know that he didn't actually kill Baal. But
I think
Yeah.
again, Amelia probably is the only one that does.
She wouldn't
Yeah,
know
He's
that.
got,
Yeah.
Depends. It's you could say, would they even have that conversation?
no, I don't think that would have come up.
Yeah, I
No.
think we're just filling in the background so we
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
Trivia.
quite amusing.
Yeah.
what the
trivia.
world at large knows, and therefore these new characters.
If only Cynic didn't fall over and slip up, it'd be so much different. Um,
What a knob.
Is Cynic dead now? Did he just trip and die on like a root branch?
he's around. He's doing his thing. Yeah, so basically, they work. They are an organization. They have like an inner circle, for instance, of people that are in the know. And yeah, they just work on black markets and trade like that. They did worship. They probably still do worship. Yeah, there was Bane and Cyric, for instance, but more or less like the
They're
wizards.
bad. They're
would do
basically like
that,
the
yeah.
Thieves Guild.
They don't like the Feast Guild. They're
mercenary.
bad. Like there's, I always think
Yeah.
that other guild, like there's Xanathar or Xantara, Xantha, whatever. It's the one with the
Saphira
beholder.
probably knows as much as anyone does about the Zentarum.
Yeah, and you'll also know that he goes on to explain that if you ever see flying snakes
No, yeah. the
going
sacred
around,
wings.
this
Yeah.
is a means of their messenger, like animals. So that he explains that like every now and again, particularly over Targus, you'll see like a flying snake going through the air. And it's basically a snake with wings, and
Yeah.
those are like messengers. It's his preferred.
They use it as a symbol as well, don't
Yes, they do.
But they mark their hideouts with like the winged serpent. Not that Quinn would have any idea with than that one.
No. What else was so you get information about now
Quinn's definitely well pissed off. He's like, "What? You want this like
and-
band of like murderers, thieves,
and then
mercenaries in
yeah.
Lad-
charge of like good meat?" Like Quinn's like, "See, told you fuckers.
Hey, I was on your side.
Told you he was bad news."
And
That's
then
fun.
the other half was you wanted to know a bit about him himself, right? A
Mhm.
bit about Shadow himself.
Why he murdered.
Why? Okay. So he says, a long time ago, back when I used to live in the where's it gone?
In a city far, far away.
Yeah, in
Miradar?
in the town of Miragar,
Miradar.
Miradar.
I used to run with a group, and this is how I've learned how to survive over the years. Unfortunately, without going into vast amount of detail, because you probably don't need to know everything, it wouldn't do you any good anyway.
You need to know everything.
I got into a bit of trouble where my, at the time, associate, friend, if you want to call him that, I suppose, he, I can't explain it. He got attacked, and before we knew it, there was nothing that we could do to save him. As I was trying to fend off the attackers, the authority came, the town guard, and the attackers managed to flee before the guard entered the warehouse we were in. And unfortunately for me, they instantly thought that I was the one that had killed my associate, because I had blood on me, he had blood on him, and therefore I was practically framed for murder. And this was also set up by the group that were against us at the time.
I don't believe him.
I do the
I'm
insight,
an insight check.
Yeah.
I don't believe this
Round
is
of
how we
insight checks.
Oh, 16. That's
I guess I
bad.
should probably roll it because
16 again.
do not believe him.
16.
Alright.
Need to scroll down.
Actually,
17.
7.
Good
16,
rolls.
13, 17.
Amelia's
16.
quite gullible. She'll believe anything.
For the lot of you, this time round, he does actually seem to be genuine. Like, there is
Why
a
would he
hint
lie about that
of-
then?
There is a hint of
Because we might not
like,
believe.
yeah, there's a hint of sadness and embarrassment in there, and
But
like
then-
just
but then,
the trouble
like-
that it got mixed up in.
I guess in Cassius's head then he's confused because originally he said to Zavira, "Oh, I accidentally got somebody killed," and now it turns out he didn't actually kill anybody at all and just got framed for it. But that's why I'm like, did this actually happen? Yeah, okay, interesting.
Amelia's kind of enthralled by the story
Yeah,
and kind of goes like, "So you didn't murder anyone after all? Why would you tell us that you did? Or why would you tell Zafira that you'd murdered someone? Did you almost believe it yourself?"
I was in a right state back in those days, so it just feels like I got him murdered through my actions.
What
see.
did you do? Is the question to warrant these people to attack your so-called friend?
It goes quiet at that point. It's
Oh.
like it's too difficult to him to like drag up the words for. It's just like some things are better left to the past.
I don't think I would push this. I think I would probably let it drop there at that point.
Sure.
Yeah, this is clearly bringing back poor bad memories for you. I have one more question for you, if you'd be so kind.
All right. Okay.
You say you want to help the town of Goodmead, and that you have plans. We've heard an idea of some of your plans. We've heard of what we think you want to do. And yet, I would like to hear it from you. What is it that you want to do with this town? Are you genuine? Do you genuinely care for this town, and do you want to see it prosper? Or are these words just so that you can get into power and become speaker?
I have lived here long enough to know it's a good place. These are good people.
It's good mead.
Everybody's obviously worried because we've had 2 years of winter at this point. But that I'm in the belief that that can't last forever. Surely not. So I personally think that I would be able to do a lot of good here. My friends helping me would be able to, though, like notions to people upstairs.
That pun.
I feel like I've got a lot of
Where? Leg, arm?
Just a nip. Yeah, just a nip. Dende just nips Cassius for that pun.
I personally feel like
I'll
I've
pet him.
put a lot into this town already. The people like me well enough.
And allow you to become speaker, would you be willing to become an interim between us and the
Yeah.
what are they called again?
Zan.
Zentarum.
Zentarim. We would want to understand exactly their motives and their, plans. Would you be willing to work with us to either expose or perhaps destroy? With a guild like this, or with a organization such as this,
He will say, you might get tangled up in more than you can handle. If I become town speaker, I will have to still give over at least some sort of useful information once a month or so to Nerf. I don't really, other than running a, his own like black market up here, I don't know what his true intentions are for this town. Other than the only thing the town's got going for it other than fishing is the mead, so he'll probably make use of that. Considering the whole of 10 towns makes use of the mead and everyone enjoys it. So I'm not sure. It's all up for speculation at the moment. He's probably got some sort of like long-term plans in the work.
well, I can't speak for my other party members, but you have convinced me. I would be happy to back you in running for the speaker. I believe you are forthcoming. I don't believe you are a bad man, perhaps caught up in a not so good deed once upon a time, which has unfortunately come round to bite you. And we do need to do something about this, Nath, and we do need to do something about this guild that seems to have you enthralled. We would be willing to, well, I say I would be willing to protect you and support your claim on good mead. I believe you will do good for this town. You seem to be strong of will, and you genuinely seem to care for this town.
He seems quite relieved at your words, and he nods.
However, it's not just me you need to convince. I have said my part. I will protect you, make sure that you can continue to run this place whilst, fending off this guild. There seems to be a bigger problem at this, and this is more than just one person. This is an entire organization that wants to do damage. Perhaps not even just to this town, perhaps to many towns. It would be
10 towns.
That's to 10
towns.
towns.
if you would be
And then
willing
find
to work with us to take this organization down,
Worth it.
perhaps even from the inside, we would. Yes, you'd have my backing.
Quinn is still just like
Right,
completely
it's
silent.
He's like thinking and he's mulling everything over and like nodding.
She pretty much since I feel like when Cassius talked to Quinn when they were like walking back to this house, Quinn has been like completely silent.
I think
Like Quinn has not spoken at all.
Cassius is probably going to say,
Just staring at
like, while he's
Rob.
thinking about stuff, he's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
just going to say, I am not from around these parts. I do not wish to get involved in the politics of this town, and so therefore I will not be giving backing to anybody. But I will say this: be very careful double-crossing anyone from this town, because they will throw you out, if not kill you, for anything that could happen. What you say might be true, and you might truly believe that you can do good for this town, but with what is currently hanging over you, and the people that you're in bed with, that's no good to anybody here. That could easily come back to bite you in the ass. And as for that reason, I would be happy to, help and protect you to some degree. But as for you becoming speaker, that is not for me to decide. That is for this town and the people that live here to decide. And if you do not become speaker, then so be it.
He listens and like rubs his. He's got a little bit of a beard sort of thing going
Yeah.
on. So
He's
he's
a
like
wolf, he should
rubbing
have.
that, doing this whole like thing. He's just seeing like you can see tiredness getting to him at this point.
I knock him out.
And like he kind of like frowns but then nods.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with this election.
Yeah.
It's not my place to vote in this. I don't live here, so
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe did I catch all of your names?
ooh, I'm not
Got
giving him my
mine.
name.
I mean, as he looked at Zufira,
Yeah, he's gonna address Sufira, but like he thinks for a second. It's like, did I catch all of your names? Do I know your name? I'm not sure. So he will just like look at you.
If no one jumps in
Zufira,
first,
Zufira Snowbeard.
I am
Right.
Amelia.
Amelia. So he looks at Amelia and goes, perhaps with you and you as well, Sufira, with both of your backing, then it should be enough. We'll just make a good speech. I've already got one prepared, just in case.
Perhaps not the one under your bed, huh?
No, not that one.
I'm gonna get up and go into the kitchen and find something to eat.
All right.
And
I just
I'd probably say, as well, Quinn is probably the one you need to convince the most. And I look to Quinn and I say, "What are your thoughts, Quinn? You've been particularly quiet."
say, since you're asking for names, Froth, I am Quinn Fairkettle. I am cleric. I serve this town, and I don't think you deserve to serve it.
Quinn, I have seen you around here enough. You help out with the mead, don't you?
I say, yes, I do.
You do not trust me?
No, I don't want anyone with connections to your gang being in charge of this place. And I believe that the people deserve the truth. I will tell the people all the information we've learnt, then the people can decide who they want to lead them.
Let me say then, I am not. You must understand, I am not connect. I'm not an agent. I'm not a spy.
But you are
Uh,
a puppet.
yeah, like he admits that much. It's like I am being
Yeah.
controlled by them. So
You yourself has said that they're going to use the things we export, the money of this town that we go in to your crime organization. I will have no part of this, and I doubt most of the residents here will want any part of this either. I'm not going to be making decisions for the townsfolk without them knowing the details.
I say to oh sorry, what was his name again?
stand
oh,
up.
Shandar, yeah.
Shandar, yeah, sorry. I say to Shandar, how is it that they are controlling you? What do they hold over you
It is
outside of pure
literally.
blackmail?
It is just that. It is literally they will send people to round me up and then throw me back to that town, give me over to those authorities.
I see. Okay.
Oh,
However this
yeah.
plays out, I think we can help you in one way or another. I will back your corner because I believe you are right for this town.
Thank you.
If we do not succeed, there is another way. They will send someone around, as you say, to round you up, and perhaps we will be there instead, or we will be there waiting, and perhaps we'll have a little conversation with them, perhaps a little more forceful than we've been with yourself. we will find out a little bit more about this guild. Either way, I think we can help you.
It is an idea, but I feel like it will just bring more trouble. At this point, I want to get a very much a yes/no answer from each of you. So
In character, or Phil saying that.
this is Phil saying this now, just so that I get the feel of the room, so that I get the my correct understanding of what you guys are giving over to him in terms of your what's it called?
Vera
Your
hasn't said anything in support
Yeah.
of him once they got back. Her words were on behalf of the party to convince them to leave and to get him back to town.
Mm.
But Zufira is very conflicted about what to do and doesn't really want him to be speaker.
okay. The
But
fact
so-
that you haven't said anything
yeah.
yet plays into stuff. So, in other words, let's go around. So Cassius,
I am
is
abstaining from
a
the
yes
whole
or
thing.
a no? You're
It's
abstaining.
basically it's a no, but I'm also like it's not up to me. I don't live in this town.
Yeah.
It's for the town
Yeah.
to decide.
And therefore, Quinn, you're a yes or no?
Definitely a no.
Definitely a
Definitely
no over Quinn's dead body.
Amelia is a yes, and then Sufira is a.
I kind of follow in with what Quinn's saying, but she also feels a little bad for him and is currently just conflicted over.
Oh, Quinn wants to like keep the
That's
guy
fine.
safe.
That just tells me where
Like,
the
yeah,
next couple of stages of I'm going with
yeah. Quinn
this
She
doesn't
episode.
want the
feels
guy
bad
to
right now for
die.
deceiving him because she knows
Yeah.
that she deceived him and she is not really a deceptive person.
Okay. So
I feel-
he takes he you can see him sitting there, and there's a couple of moments where he takes note of the room, and he just goes silent. He looks around, and you can see him considering things in his own mind. His little gears are ticking over. And he says, and he looks over to a clock on the mantelpiece, and it's one of these little wind-up ones that's just ticking around. And he goes, "This has left me much to think about. If we are to deal with this properly in the morning, which it is now, we should probably get some sleep. I have a room upstairs I will be sleeping in. So that you don't startle my housemates, I guess. You should probably go back to your own place of residence.
Which we will. We will pick up in the morning. I guess we will see you in the town square for your speech. And whatever happens, we will get through this, one way or the other. Come win or lose, I'm sure we can all do something to help.
Give me a perception check, Jack.
Me, yeah.
Oh, I've got this really horrible feeling.
Mm-hmm.
We should not let this guy go to bed. Oof.
No, 1. Oh, 4. Sorry, can't even read.
He agrees with you basically.
Oh,
Um,
no, this is going. I know what's gonna happen. I'll keep my
he
mouth shut.
agrees with you.
That's fine. It's our story. Play it out.
Yeah, he agrees with you, and goes, "Okay, well, I will have everything ready in the morning. I'll meet you in the town square, and I will have my speech prepared, and all the rest of it." So he stands up and makes to look like now is the time to go, beckoning you, motioning you all out.
I don't know. I part of me's like I should knock this guy out for real, like knock him out and put him somewhere safe.
I think Zufira will probably leave last. Unless
Yeah,
anyone
I
might
just
mention.
leave.
And
I
Sure.
will as well.
Front
Amelia will
door
definitely
before
leave.
she leaves.
I think Amelia is feeling quite good about the situation. She feels like she's done a good job in convincing him that she's done the right thing. But we'll see.
Yeah, from a pragmatic perspective, they've got loads of information. They got everything they needed to know, and they have nothing that they've
Yeah.
promised in return.
I guess.
And
That's, Okay, Cassius is going to put down a jar of pickled onions he found in the kitchen on a table.
Yeah, okay, leave it on the
and
side
leave.
table there.
Yeah, and leave.
Okay.
I
If Vera
think
would say to him before they leave,
You're in the hallway at this
to
point.
Shandar. Yeah, in the
Right,
hallway.
yeah,
Just
Yeah.
last word is just listen. I think you did the right thing today, and I appreciate all your honesty, and we'll do what we can to protect you. And then she turns and leaves. And you can see that there's a kind of guilt on her face.
Yeah, you can see that there's just this frame of I get the feeling he's very conflicted about what to do next in the hours at least leading up to the last two speeches that each side gives before the voting happens. But he's looking more tireder than anything, and you get the sense that he'll probably go
We're
and
all
sleep.
tired.
Yeah.
We're all tired.
And at this point, well, you must have gone out there at 11 o'clock or something, another hour of half an hour talking, getting back, 3 o'clock, another hour of sitting around and chatting, maybe like 3:30 in the morning or something like that. We're looking at those kind of time frames. And then he doesn't say anything, but there's a very short nod, and then he closes the door behind you, and you're all out the front of the house.
Do we? I mean, does Cassius see that Zufira is looking quiet? Either I don't know, shaken up or guilty or anything.
She's not hiding herself
Okay.
particularly.
I guess he probably put a hand on her shoulder and just say, "Tonight's not been a particularly great night, but do not beat yourself up for the misstrewing the information to him. I can see that it's eating you up inside, and
No, I think we did the right thing. We got everything we needed. I think Emilia did really great, and you got everything we needed. I just conflicted.
I do not wish for this man to die."
Just
No, I do not either. I think he is a good man, but has had a hard life and perhaps in with the wrong crowd. I think it's just a simple case that he is wrong place, wrong time. But he could be a good thing for this city. In any case, it's too late. I need to sleep. I am knackered.
Quinn
This
just
guy-
This is like as we're
animals.
walking back, by the way, back to the tavern.
Quinn
People
like,
are
hasn't
way too
moved.
complicated.
So as you left the door, you guys were leaving. Quinn just wanders over to a tree, just starts slamming her battle axe into the trunk of the tree, then just gives out a very loud scream of pure frustration. Then just goes to walk back towards the.
Do you leave the battle axe, or do you?
No, of course I take my battle
I was
axe
going to
with
pick
me.
it up if you had.
You can
No,
see
Wait,
a
is this-
couple of-
wait, so-
hack away at a tree?
Is this
yeah.
right as we leave?
Oh yeah, so just finds the
Right,
nearest
it's not the
tree.
house full of sleeping people at 3 a.m.
Yeah, Quinn doesn't give a shit
I'll
about
say all
this
the
stuff.
neighbors.
Wow. Okay.
This little.
You
hobbit.
can actually see
drunk.
one or two candle flames being lit in the upstairs windows of the opposite house, for instance.
Quinn, it is 4 a.m., dude. Lady.
Just gone.
Quinn's
And
well.
they pulls at the hem of her boot.
Oh, bless him.
Come on now.
Yeah, Quinn says to
Good
him,
people.
well, you are the one who knows the best for this town. Then just goes to the inn. Quinn's
Okay.
done with this shit.
So you all go to the inn, you all find your rooms, and you all go to sleep
Yeah.
for the rest of the night. And you'll probably all wake up about 9-10 o'clock, because just to say we've got all your spells and stuff. And at that point, we'll take a break. We'll take our break.
Reminds me.
Oh,
I was going to suggest, I don't know if we should do this after the break, but I was going to suggest like before we go to
I need
sleep,
a break.
like maybe we tell the guard and stuff then.
It's an interesting
But
one.
We'll deal with that after the break.
Do that
Yeah,
break.
do it after the break.
Stretch, get your drinks. I need to consider what on earth is going to happen next.
Oh god, I've got this horrible feeling. I know what's
Is
going
it?
to happen. I will explain in a second. But...
Your dice
I'm
rolls
glued
and all the
to this
rest of
plot.
it.
Oh no, something
I'm
dark
loving
is
this
going to
plot.
happen. I feel it.
It's all
I
good. It's,
feel
it's
it.
fun. I'm excited to see what happens because this is really cool. I love this shit.
Yeah.
Good.
I get the
Right,
feeling that
we'll be
we've really
back in a
crafted
minute
our
then.
own unique take on this as well.
Yeah, I think so. This is cool. I love this.
It's like deep in this town.
All right, go get a drink.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome back, everybody, from a break. Hope you're all refreshed. We certainly are. We are going to pick up where we left off. So you're all in the snow in the dead of night. It is about 4 a.m. in the morning, and we are walking back to the tavern. Do you guys have anything to say whilst you're going to the tavern, or I say tavern, where you're staying, town hall? Do you
Yeah.
have stuff to say when you're in the town hall or up in your bedrooms? Set the scene where you want to talk.
So Emilia, following Quinn's comment, is looking to go straight to bed. Not even, probably more aloof from the party than she has been previously.
Well, as they're walking back in the snow, Zufira's probably trying to corral the party together, probably, and just saying, even just to Cassius, if nobody else is interested in listening,
I'll listen.
that like, I don't know about this.
Look,
I
we're
don't
all
think
conflicted. We're all conflicted. I need to sleep on this. I am. It's too late for these types of conversations. Let's pick this up in the morning.
Listen. I think there's things more important than even sleeping tonight. Is that by the morning anything could have happened. We don't want him to be speaker, and I think he knows it. Other than I'm sorry, Amelia, but I don't think he deserves to die, but I don't think he deserves to be speaker either. And the way he's acted thus far, I worry about what he could do by the time we wake up. We could wake up with the guard on us. He could have framed us. We need to take this to the guard tonight.
I agree.
If we intend to
trust,
reveal this information, we need to show the letter to them tonight. So we have them on our side in the morning.
I'll give you the letter. I hand her the letter. Look, Quinn, this is your city. Clearly you did not like what I had to say. I believe this man to be just. I believe this man to be a good opportunity for this city to have some outside influence. And I'm not talking about the guild. This man has clearly been coerced. It's clear to me that he is not a bad person. Maybe he's been caught up in some bad things and caught up with some bad people. But I do not believe he, in his core, is bad. I don't believe he's evil. I don't believe he's doing this untoward outside of being simply coerced by a gang that we can take care of. That I have no doubt. But again, I'm too tired for this conversation. I'm just going to turn in. You do whatever you think is right. It's your city. I don't care enough for this kind of conversation.
Oh,
damn. And I go off. And I go to bed.
Yeah, I let you leave. I turn to Sophia. Say, I don't particularly care for this man, but I don't wish him ill or death. But I also think he's more cunning and more vindictive than what Amelia gives him too much credit. I feel like there could be danger hanging over us. I think we should go to the guard now. My main plan is to let the entire town know about his deeds, and then the town can vote according to their own beliefs. I think that's the fairest way of doing any election.
The only thing I worry about is the Zentarum. They are very dangerous.
I don't know much of them. I must have missed them. They didn't sound great.
You just hear stories growing up, boogeyman stories. They're everywhere. I'm just one dwarf. It can go after your family, and go after anyone. Getting tangled up with them, he had a point.
Do
It's
not sound
very
like the most
dangerous
savoury
business.
of people to be messing with or even be
No,
involved with. But
but
let's go to the guard. I feel like you are
I
both correct with
yeah,
this.
I don't want to go against these, nor but I also don't want them to have influence over my town, my home. If that
Yes.
requires me to fight against them, then I will. But
Same. If I must,
unfortunately, there's no good outcome. But yes, we should go to the guards now and
Yeah, I will go with them anyway.
spread. Was it Arthur or something? What they called the guard?
Arthur and Daisy were the veterans.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the veterans. So I'll say like Arthur is the one in. It's a joint effort between both of them.
Yeah, we'll go to their like barracks.
Yeah, be like
Oh, prison.
I would say it's
Police
more of
station. I
a-
don't know. What do we have here? Like a house?
Yeah, I would say it's more houses. There's definitely a house that has a cell in it.
Yeah, like
Um,
somewhere you'd go to get help.
yeah,
Even if
that's
it's not like a
fine.
police station, it'd just be someone there to be like,
It's not big
so
enough.
and
It's
so's
like
fell over or
it's like the
something.
Wild West
Yeah.
sheriff
The
sort
old
of,
guardhouse.
house
Yeah.
with bars in the back.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of
yeah.
imagining it to be.
So you go up to that establishment. You go up to
Wouldn't
that
much
building, and all the lights are off. Everyone is asleep because it's 4:30 in the morning or so.
Oh yeah, that much
Um,
really happens here at night.
and you knock on the door,
Drunks hitting trees with their axes.
and then you knock on the door again. And eventually there is shuffling inside, and there's like a hold on, I'll be there in a minute.
Yeah, I'll
kind
be
of
at
thing.
the front, I guess.
you'll
Unless
be the
anyone
one.
else wants to.
No, it makes sense because you know these people. I
lead.
mean, I know them, but you know them.
Yeah,
Better.
I'd say you spent
Sure.
the most time with them recently, but yeah, I've known them for longer.
Okay, so you open the door and there's a man. There is Arthur there. You can see he's not in his guard uniform. He's in his civilian uniform. To be honest, I don't think they would have other than
I
like
don't think
a
there's a
tabard
uniform.
to show that they are part of like a militant sort of thing. They
Yeah,
would have like a tabard, for instance, or a sash, maybe that kind of thing.
yeah, like
Um,
I doubt they even have like the good mead, like ale, shield, the symbol of like good mead.
yeah,
They might
I'd
have
say
that.
they have the basic of of
Yeah.
armors and things like that, but primarily the lead the lead veteran will just like have a sash that he wears.
Yeah, imagine it's
To
more of like
show.
a militia where they have like day jobs.
It
They just
is pretty
help
much
out when
that.
things go bad. Yeah. If
Yeah,
orcs attack, they like raise weapons kind of thing.
yeah.
But
And they go, what is it? It's
yeah,
so early. Why have you come to me at this hour?
say unfortunately it would just be Arthur, wouldn't it? Or would I say Captain Arthur? I don't know.
It's just Arthur. They're not really
It's Arthur,
captain
okay,
sort of
yeah.
thing,
I don't know if I call them by rank or
It's like a
something.
sergeant.
Yeah. So say unfortunately, Arthur, we have ill timings. We've learnt a lot about tomorrow's election, and unfortunately, it can't wait till tomorrow. Can you please hear us out?
Well, as it's you, Quinn, and the election is a big day, so coming out of the cold,
Mm.
he
Yeah.
ushers you all in,
I
and
say thank you.
yeah.
A nod.
Have you still got the dragon with you, or has he gone away?
Yeah. He's blending into the snow, but they'll notice him the moment he comes out of the snow.
Okay.
Plods in like a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like a dog shake, like shakes the snow off him.
Oh yeah, probably.
See, like, comes in.
Right, snow goes everywhere. It's like I was taken aback by the little
He's
dragon.
very
I
comfy in the
suppose.
snow. He's not bothered by the cold at all.
Sure. And it's like okay. He's seen the dragon going around a couple of times now, I guess.
Yeah, it's been a few
They all laugh.
days.
Yeah. And he ushers you into one of the front rooms. You get the feeling this is more like a room more dedicated to militia sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Paperwork here and there kind of thing. This is the headquarters of the town, if it could be even called that. And he says, so what do you have? What information have you got for me?
I guess I'll just give him a sketch of like what happened last night,
Sure. You do
leaving
write
out
down.
the burglary and stuff like that. Just say
Okay.
that like we were looking into Prof as we wanted to learn more about him. We saw some tracks leaving his house. When he wasn't at the funeral, we wondered where he was. And then we found the tracks, went along, saw him coming back with a group of thugs. We talked to him, convinced him to leave the thugs, but we found out that he's being puppeted by a member of the Xanthim Guild?
Centarum.
Santarum.
I couldn't think Sanathar
Antaro
was the other one.
Adun.
And yeah, like say about the Targo guy who's an agent of theirs.
Yep.
They just kind of give like a brief outline saying that like I think the people should know about this before the election.
Yeah, okay.
And he might, we don't know what he's up to at the moment. He might be with his back against the wall. He could be doing anything. He has powerful friends. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of just give out the outline. I guess afterwards, just looks at like Cassius and Sophia, like anything else to add? Like,
No, it just nods. It's like, no, that's you've covered everything. Like this needs to be dealt with.
yeah.
now.
So I guess I just ended
Zephyr is
with like,
quietly eating a ration in the corner, just like
yeah. I guess just ends with
Is it a
Quinn saying to Arthur, "So you can see why we came here straight away to inform you of the developments."
He rubs his chin and is like, yes, this is quite worrying. We will have to take action at once before he can cause any harm or potentially get away, maybe.
Hmm. Yeah. Guess Quinn just looks around, being like, "Should we sleep?
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys comfortable with this?"
Yes.
Just kind of doing like a, yeah, shall we go to sleep? Like, you guys
Yeah. I mean,
all for leaving this with the authorities?
yeah.
kind of thing?
Like, I guess Cassius is just like, well, we're no good to anybody tired and exhausted. We should probably be on our guard just in case anything.
We
goes
have
awry
walked
tomorrow.
miles in the
Yes,
snow tonight.
and
He
we've
will
had a strange one.
he will say to you, if we are going to go and deal with this right now, then I would prefer all of your company, because then you would be able to, if he's dangerous, you'll be able to talk him down a lot easier than
I'm
me.
fine with it.
Yeah, sure, why not? If he's a little bit nervous, then yeah, fuck it.
Quinn like lets out a sigh, then like stretches out her back. It's like, yeah, let's go. Let's go
I think
and
it's
handle
escalating
this.
faster than Zufira expected. She was just kind of like, in fact, I guess she'll say like, I don't know if he's dangerous. I just, I don't know if we need to take him in now. Just to be aware, we're going to try and deal with him. I don't think he's bad. I think he's a man who's been pushed into a bad situation. I don't know. I'm just worried about what he might do.
We should put him in a place that he's comfortable but can't go anywhere just for tonight. So we know. I would be much more comfortable with that. As harsh as that may seem, if he spends the night in a cell, at least we know where he'll be.
We don't know who he has access to either.
This is just
That's true. Okay. Okay. So yes, okay. So he says, good. Well, come and help me get him. We'll put him in a cell.
Yeah.
That's the best way we can handle this.
Sweet.
And he starts putting on his cold weather gear. You're all wearing your own. He gets his sword off the wall and lashes it to his belt. sword belt kind of thing. He's also got like a little buckler shield. It's yay big. Considering I have it over there, but it's yay big.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he starts making a move. He lets you all out first, and you start walking back to the house. At this point, it's now like 5 o'clock or so. 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, fine with that.
Good. You all take Constitution saving throws because at this point you are not sleeping, and we're going into the next day.
Hell yeah.
12.
So if you fail your Constitution saving throws, take 1 point of exhaustion.
Yeah. Is there a place to mark that?
What's the
There should
what's
be.
what's the thing we're trying to beat though?
I know what it does, but
Oh, a 12 as well.
you got to
What-
beat
what-
10.
Yeah,
You got to beat 10 of me.
it's just,
Oh,
I
okay.
believe it's
Not high.
10
I just
each
rolled
time.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like spell saving throw. It's like
Yeah.
concentration saving throw. Same thing. You just beat 10 every time. I think it gets.
Right.
I can't remember if it gets worse the longer you go or long.
Yes, it does.
After,
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. So when you get more exhaustion points, it gets worse.
Yeah. If you're out there
There's
in the
nowhere to
world,
mark it. I'll just make my own mark of it.
Yeah,
One
make your-
exhaustion.
make a mark somewhere.
That'd be first level
So-
of exhaustion.
No, we didn't get it. No, we're fine, Dave.
I meant for
Oh, Greg, yes.
Sophia, yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
just
have
point one, it's
disadvantage
one
on
exhaustion
ability
advantage
checks.
check.
Yeah, so you have disadvantage on ability checks.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
So here, so you walk back over to the house, and the guard Arthur goes up to the front of the door, and he loudly knocks on the door, and then you can see candlelight starting to turn on
Should
in
we
the
hide?
upstairs windows.
I'm not hiding.
Okay.
Got
I
nothing to
imagine
hide.
you're all just like literally standing behind him as he's
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's only going to see.
Never
me.
once said I was going to do anything else other than everyone needs to know before the election. I haven't lied or deceived him at all.
No, I know.
And the older logger that you saw in his mid-30s comes up and answers the door. And he goes, "What, Arthur? What is it?" And Arthur explains, that we need to come in and essentially,
here.
arrest
Got a
Shanda.
warrant.
Yeah, go around. It's like It's a
Open
bit-
this bloody door.
it's quite bleary-eyed and startled by this whole outcome. So he's like, he should be upstairs in his room. Yeah, lets them in, and you all file in behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you all go upstairs or do you wait downstairs?
I mean, unless Arthur tells me not to, I'm going with Arthur,
I-
basically.
Yeah.
Won't. I probably won't, just because I'll stay downstairs just in case this other guy.
He runs out the kitchen.
No. Just
I
in,
do it!
just in
Get your
case.
pickles.
Exactly, like eating pickles in the corner. No, just in case this other guy decides to, I don't know, start something. I don't think he
Yeah,
will,
yeah,
but I think it might make sense. So I'll wait downstairs.
And they'll
Um,
stay down with you.
Yeah.
So he goes upstairs. He goes to the correct room, which was the master bedroom or so. But as you go upstairs, there's a window that is half open on the landing. And let's say there's little curtains are blowing in the breeze.
I knew it. I
And
knew
he
it.
doesn't
Got
take
to
note
get
of it.
the
He
laugh.
walks past the window.
Revival check. I'm gonna
It's only like yay high.
run over and check.
Yeah, you can
Revival.
roll and check.
Oh yeah,
but-
definitely got to run over.
But the
and-
Arthur is
Down.
walking straight down to the room that is in, and he knocks again on the door. And as he's doing that, you're checking. What did you get?
What check is it? Perception?
You can
Survival,
do
is it?
perception. Survival would be all about the tracking and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe-
Zufir's going to run
Oh.
down. To
Oh,
check the
there we
track.
go.
immediately.
First of all, it would be. Well, if you're spending a good couple of moments like investigating,
Yeah,
The
'cause I
window.
don't think he's in the room anymore.
no,
So I'll let Arthur
survival
deal
would
with
be
the
all of the stuff outside that requires
Yeah.
like outside kind of stuff.
Well, I guess she's just gonna see this and run down to look at
Okay,
tracks. Is that
see the window open like this, and
Well,
then you're like things twig, and you run down outside. Okay, that's cool.
15.
There
Obviously
is
you've been
a,
blasted.
there is a clear
13.
for you,
Yeah.
Saphira. There is a clear where 2 footprints have gone into the snow, a handprint as if the person. So a person has jumped from the window.
I did a superhero
Handprint
landing.
Clear, yeah, exactly. And
Why
like
didn't he just walk out the front door?
I don't know, because he's panicked and like legged it off into the woods.
Oh shit.
We have to go after him now.
At this point, it is starting to snow as well. The wind has picked up a bit, but
She sees her.
Wait
and
a
she's
minute.
freaking out.
it's a bit
Was
eerie
that-
now.
Just before we go any further, was that survival check at disadvantage because of the exhaustion?
Oh
true, don't get
no.
those.
So that would actually be an 8 plus, actually a 10 because of my bonus. But yeah,
Mine
Thank
was
you for getting that.
13, if that is still good enough.
Okay.
So 13,
What-
all right?
Let's go back to the tracks. So it doesn't take a genius to guess that somebody has jumped out the window because there is very much a plant scrabble run.
This is when Quinn finally
In
gets
the
to do a
survival.
survival check of her own.
Yeah, and for you,
frankly,
and for you, Quinn,
Oh.
it's like the window doesn't look too much out of the ordinary, except for
I'm actually
you
gonna
know,
blow my inspiration.
it's probably a
this.
bit too high drawn to just be. You know, they left it
Yeah.
open to just get fresh air in. This is like,
Especially
you know,
because it's fucking freezing.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Can
you
I
okay, go on.
can I blow my inspiration on this? I'm not sure how it would work if I'm at disadvantage on all checks. Do I just get to roll a straight?
You go
thing?
straight, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I
well, you
think it
can't-
is. I just get an extra straight.
Yeah, it goes from disadvantage to normal.
So then I would roll another one to see what the straight one is. Yeah,
What
and
are
then
you trying to what
compare that
what
to
are you
the 8/10.
He's trying to track.
Yeah, but don't you
I'm
have
using my
to-
inspiration.
But
to,
don't you
to-
have
Declare
to
it first, don't you?
Don't you have to declare?
You have to declare it first before
the
you
roll.
can't roll, and then
No, it's
after you've
true.
had the result, then do it. You would have had to say, "I'm going to use
According
it."
to the base rules, yeah. I just didn't know we were using that. Like a lot
Oh,
of
I-
people just use luck points,
I have no idea.
but
Whatever
I don't
Phil
know.
wants to do.
Luck points, or we're in Cthulhu now. No, it is. You would declare it before any rolls
Oh,
are
right.
made.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know we were using that rule. I'll do that in the future
So
if I can.
question.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
History check. I could re-roll. It's the first one I've ever had. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Question for the DM.
Just for
How long has it been since we left the house, went to the police station, and come back?
Well, we didn't go straight to the police station, did we? We went to the tavern, and then we went to the police
Yeah.
station.
Roughly, in
true.
your mind, how
we were
long?
walking there, but
To
like
media
talking-
and stuff.
Like this isn't a big place. It takes you
No.
probably 15, 20 minutes of walking from one end of town to the
I
other.
guess.
Because you look at the map, it's just like
Yeah.
a street.
Yeah. So what's
So-
happened? So Sophia's looked at the tracks outside. She's gone down the stairs, looked at the tracks. I've looked out the window.
You've stood at the window. You're looking
Yeah.
out the window, and then you look out the window. I
So
want
I
to in the very thin moments of turning over.
Yeah. So I
So-
definitely shout to Arthur.
You shout to Arthur, and Arthur has knocked for the second time, and there's no answer.
Yeah.
And you shout to Arthur, and as you turn and shout to him, and you yell out like he's gone off into the woods, there is this very heavy kind of yell far out in the distance in the woods, almost a scream that just like echoes forth.
Hmm.
Oh, God.
And you can make out this is obviously a male scream,
Yes.
probably a dwarven one.
I don't know whether we should go after that then.
I look for Arthur. Like, what's Arthur doing?
If Saphira bolts, I will go after
Yeah.
her.
Arthur
I
is
can't
now
let
Without
her
even
go
waiting
on.
for anyone else, she's just running.
yeah, Arthur hears that as well and is now in full like combat.
Yeah, I'm the
mode,
same.
You know,
I kind of do that thing where I'm like,
like, to
yeah,
the
so I-
problem.
so I kind of like turn around and go like, Arthur, he's gone out the window. Then we hear the scream, and it's like a second one, just like, and then he goes
Yeah.
to run, and I'm like, okay, we're going.
Yeah.
There is this very like bone chilly kind of like seconds pass as you hear the scream, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
kind of like
When did this become
like
horror?
just now.
It's always
Uh,
been horror.
It's
Levi.
always been hard.
yeah. Have you seen the thing? It's no dangerous.
But the people that have lived here long enough, you definitely know that there, like I said, there are things out, certainly in the wilderness, that are dangerous. There are things that venture towards civilization that shouldn't be there. And yeah, you all start running out of the house.
Where we all died. Amelia wakes up the next day, we're just all dead.
I was just thinking that in my mind. I'm like, they get a party wiped. I'm gonna come out and I'm like, where the fuck is everyone? Just come like a massacre. I'm
Time
like,
to find
oh,
3 more people.
oh.
And you start
Awkward.
Arthur starts jogging towards, he's following the
Yeah.
tracks, he's jogging towards
Yeah,
the
I'm probably
tracks aren't hard to
running
follow, it's like
because
they
I'm-
obvious.
Zephyr is in
Snow
front
is
of me.
coming down.
I guess Arthur's behind me, but I don't know what the distance is between all of us. All I can see is
you're human, so your movement speed's higher than me.
yeah. I
anyway.
imagine that Zephyr is like putting the hands on the logs and like jumping over them and sliding under stuff.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that bit in
yeah,
like
just like that.
Return of the King, where like the dwarf and the halfling are like running, and then like the humans just run past us.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, we're not as fast.
25 feet.
Yeah,
that's 30 feet, I
25.
think.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
all kind of keep up at a pace. And what feels like 10 minutes of just straight up running into the woods, you start to see a figure running towards you. And his left arm is pretty much like dangling by his side as he's trying to like run. And he gets to like 15 feet of you. It is clearly Shander. His arm looks like it's just dangling there. He's slightly limping. He As you come up onto him, he hits the edge of a tree and it sends him spiraling into the snow.
Time to
And he
finish
just
the
like
job.
face
Zephyr
plants
will run
into
forward
the
and try to
snow.
catch him.
While you do that, I immediately grab the crossbow and I'm just like looking around to see anybody around.
Yeah.
So if anything
Like I
comes
say,
into my view, I will just shoot it.
I'm running
It is
upwards.
so
Sophia.
dark. It is so eerie. The
Well, I can
snow's
see
coming
60
down.
feet,
I
basically.
can see
you
300.
can.
Yeah.
like
Zephyr
lights
will-
Woods.
vision. Yeah.
Eventually, it goes into darkness.
If
yes.
I have this
Yeah.
moment, Zephyr would like to run forward, grab him from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
snow with his bleeding arm and everything, and go, "I shouldn't do this, you idiot!" And touch his arm where it's
Stabs him
hanging
in the
off,
neck.
and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. It will take more than
Well, I
that,
can.
but for the time being, it's like you
Your
stem
fixed
whatever
wounds.
bleeding is underneath the clothes. So
Is it the
and
mage
you
clothes he's wearing?
no, and you hear like a snap as the shoulder clicks back into place, as the arm clicks
it
back into
hurts.
place. It's like he yelps in pain, but you can see now he looks up into your eyes. His eyes are full of panic and distress, and he's just like white as a sheet. And he goes, "No, get back! There's something out there. Get back in the house!"
No shit.
And he tries to scrabble back
behind
to
me.
the house.
While this is going on,
Literally like
I
this.
Yeah.
grab my
Hang on, what was it?
I grab my holy symbol. And I cast Shield of Faith on me,
Sure.
so I slightly shimmer. And I get like +2 AC.
Uh,
Pull out the
Go
crossbow.
like
Yeah,
I
can't
can't
you
wait
not
for
say-
it.
Scanning the horizon to see whatever's like. I've just like
Okay.
thrown him behind me, and I'm
Yeah.
just looking ahead.
In
I was like,
these
I'll keep
moments,
watch.
as you watch, and Arthur has picked him up, Arthur has now got him,
Yeah.
leading him back to the house, and there's these few moments. You can see this speck of white light, and it is very faint. It's almost like light has caught the side of a glass or an icicle off a
No, like a
tree,
flash.
a flash, but
Yeah.
it bobs and then it's gone.
I guess that
It's
wouldn't be
just
in
gone.
250. No, 120 feet of us.
Whatever. No, it's just on the edges of your vision. You all see it. For hang the disbelief of like, oh, I can see further than you. It's like
No,
you.
I meant more like if it's 120 feet away, I'm gonna try and like moonbeam it.
Oh, right.
Like ground laser.
Yeah,
Just like the beam just like
Laser.
fires down.
It's like an ion cannon.
It is. Moonbeam's
It's great.
great spell. Yeah.
It's further than that. Like, it reminds you of the same light that you saw as you were going
Oh, the
out or
X-Files
coming
light.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
It pays resemblance to that. As you see it for a moment, and then it's gone.
Zufiro is going to look behind her at the rest and just very carefully be back.
Yeah, I've
again.
got your back. Don't worry. I've got the crossbow. I'm waiting for you
Yeah.
to come back to us.
I got my shield
I'm
up,
down on one knee.
my axe up. I'm just kind of like walking backwards almost. Just
Someone gets broth. Don't
I'm
let them
doing
run
the-
again.
It's basically that scene.
Alpha got him, right?
Yeah.
Alpha grabbed him.
So
Alpha's
for
gone,
me,
Yeah.
I guess it's like while I've been down here, you know, like in films where it's like slow motion and all you can hear is the breathing. Right, like for those moments of where like it's completely silent and I'm so focused on waiting for that, all I can hear is my own breathing. I'm like going,
You
like
can see
I'm
your
almost, it's
breath
almost like I
happening,
can't
yeah,
hear
yeah.
anybody else because I'm so
It's like
like
you have that, and I purposely made myself light up, so I
Yeah.
am like faintly glowing with
Yeah.
like the kind of greeny goldy light of
yeah.
Shantae, which is kind of interesting.
So it's just like during that like what is probably
Yeah.
only a few seconds, but it's almost like slow mo to Cassius. He's just like so focused on like in the direction of where he thinks something is. He's just waiting. And but
It's
for a
interesting
few
because I'm just
seconds.
like ready to pull aggro.
Yeah.
Whereas you're like kind of more worried.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Uh,
just like I want to fire this crossbow as it comes out of it, but
make myself a target.
after like a few seconds, the sound comes back to him and he hears like Zufira saying, you know, grab him. Arthur's got him, and probably notices that Quinn's got this shimmering light and stuff, and he's sort of like, you know, that laser sharp focus is gone, and he stands back up, but with the crossbow still in hand, looking at the rest of the party, basically.
We do the nod, like, yep. Let's go back.
I've got the crossbow
sleep.
on him.
So Arthur is going to take him back to the jail cells. Like he goes, we're not going back to your house. We're going back to mine. And he will veer off and lead him back to the jail cell, basically.
No. I'm going with him until I know that guy is locked up.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'll go as well,
but
but I don't want to split the party up, but I'm not as concerned.
I want to make sure.
My
It's
Zufiro is going to follow you guys perfunctorily.
yeah.
But, like she
Sure.
wants some sleep now.
As
I think
you
Arthur has
guys
us down.
walk over to that house, I want to quickly jump over back to Jack for a minute. So he's been sitting there for so long.
Sleep.
He's been asleep.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, not
In-
him. The character's been asleep.
The crowd has been asleep.
We've both been
So-
asleep.
Amelia, you're in bed. You're all nice and warm. It's toasty.
Got a hot water bottle.
You are hot water bottle. You are sleeping soundly.
Now back to the party.
I want you to give me a dreamscape. What would she dream about?
So I think she's still a little bit shaken by that journey in the woods with the light,
Uh-huh.
because it's playing on her mind, that and the Aurora Borealis. And I think those are the kind of things she keeps kind of almost bringing back those pictures to try and piece them together.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a restless sleep, where she's kind of she's still thinking about things, like she can't quite properly nod off.
The light sleeping.
So she's kind of walking in the
Yeah.
woods, and she follows the light rather than what actually happened, where she didn't. In her mind, she follows the light and see where it leads to,
Okay.
almost in like an alternative reality, where instead of moving away from the light, she followed it.
Yeah.
Becomes
So-
the light.
This
Just
whole
leads back to
dream
Kalizar.
sequence, plays out, and as you're walking along, something brushes past your shoulder, and you look behind your shoulder, and for a split second, there is just this there is a male figure behind you, and then it's gone.
I instantly turn
And-
around and wake up.
And you wake up. Yeah. But that's just that bit. That's what happens.
I look around the room.
And
Mm.
there is nobody in the room. There's nobody around you. You are, the candle has burnt down, for instance. And yeah, in your dream, it's very fuzzy. It's hazy, but you swear there was somebody following you, but floating behind you. Okay, I'm gonna leave you with that.
Can I look outside the window
Yeah, you can.
and see what I see?
You see the other houses around. It's snowing at the moment.
Is
Yeah,
there
there's a
an,
bit of
Christmas.
bit of a wind.
is there an aurora borealis tonight?
Ooh.
It
Every
could have
night.
been, but you might not have seen it.
Is it like just very often?
Yeah, it like I say, it happens every night, but in different areas.
Is it
So,
visible
probably-
from where?
Make a luck roll.
A luck. I've
Oh
never
wait,
done
you
it.
can't do that, can you?
I don't think so. No.
Roll me a decent.
That's Cthulhu, isn't
Yeah, it is. So used to hearing it.
it?
Luck roll.
A luck roll. Roll d20.
Roll a d20.
Yeah.
Certainly.
1 is luck. 20 is bad luck.
5.
5. Okay. No, not here tonight.
No worries. And then I'll probably stare out the window for a minute or two.
Sure.
Look back, like constantly just looking over my shoulder, and then I'll probably try and go back to bed. Actually, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to light a torch.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to light the candles, so I've got some light in the room.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then
that's fine.
I'll douse out the torch and then go to bed. Probably won't even be a torch, to be honest. It'll just be something that I can like.
Well, you said torch, big flame.
I was thinking that, yeah,
In the
maybe
box.
like something that more like a lantern, like you get lanterns. The
Torch
little,
is
like-
multiple flames on a stick. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
you've
sure I've got
lanterns,
something that we can.
candles. You got
Yeah.
like a candle on a saucer that you know.
Yeah.
that kind of
Bees
thing.
in the pub, they probably have candle wax.
Yeah.
Candle wax, yeah. Loads of
Creepy
that.
candle.
Amelia
the
knows this
stub.
shit. I don't. I'm an idiot, but Amelia's right.
Okay,
She
so I'll
knows
leave
not
you
to
with that,
raise a torch in the middle of a night.
and then
Clearly, you're tired like she is.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And then I go back to bed.
go back to bed. Okay.
I'll try to.
We'll jump back
Yeah,
over
but-
2 minutes. Back to Arthur. So you've all followed Arthur back to his house.
I don't need to go in the house, by the
In
way.
the
I just
house,
need to
okay.
say get back.
So he's put Shanda
Shanda
in
off.
the cell, and he comes back and he says, "I don't know what's happened to him. He's in pretty bad shape. He's as white as a sheet. I'm surprised. His arm needs looking at for certain, but all this will have to be dealt with in
Give
the
him
proper
some.
morning at this point."
Give him some medicines and then see if that settles him for the night, and then we'll
I've
deal
got
with it
more
tomorrow.
juice.
No,
I'll,
we must rest.
I'll have
Save your spills.
I'll have my my other people
Go
look
to
at him as
sleep
well, and he
anyway.
will be under close observation. I suggest you all go and get your rest.
I
Yeah,
think
I'm fine
Zubair
with
would
that.
go over to try and finish the job with the healing. At
Fussing
least a
the
little
entire
bit.
time.
And while doing so, well, she's just going to head over to him if he's in the cell and go,
He's behind bars, like
yeah. But she can reach out.
yeah,
But
okay.
he's clearly in a bad state, you say.
He is rocking backwards and forwards against. We'll say for this, like against the bars, but in the corner. If that makes sense. Where the bars meet and then the wall, and he's just like down here compared to the rest of the cell. So it's
Shanda,
like you can touch him. He's like
why did you
mumbling.
run? We said we were going to help you. Why did you run?
He's like, I just panicked. I can't. I don't know. But I don't want to go back out there. And then he starts like mumbling again.
Can give you a bit more healing, but I want to know what was that. What did I see?
I saw. It was too quick. I only saw a bright light shining at me, standing above me, over me. It looked like whatever it was. I don't know what it was. I couldn't tell. I just turned and ran.
Well, you're not going to becoming town speaker now, but can heal that. Come here. She'll blast the last 2 slots of cure wounds into that.
You can
After
see like
12 seconds.
he's holding his hands like that. You can see like a cut like knitting back together and stuff.
Right,
And
I'm going to sleep now because you've kept me up all night with your bullshit. She's
it's
gonna
just
walk
like
out
mumbling.
unless he's just gonna
Yeah,
walk
it's
out.
just like it is a mess.
Yeah, Quinn's
She's
just
done now.
waiting.
She's
Yeah,
done.
Quinn's just waiting by the door for everyone
Yeah.
to leave. She's not gonna waste any
Yeah.
healing on this guy.
I will walk back to the inn with them.
For Zufira,
Oh,
it's
the
just a
glowing
misplaced
of-
sense of guilt from talking him
Oh,
into
yeah.
like, giving up his protection and everything.
Mm.
But
Oh,
she's
yeah,
done
I'm
with him now. Her debt is completely paid
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's where she's
Also, I'm
concerned.
not glowing anymore because it only lasts for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I stopped glowing.
So as the events of the early morning has unfolded, you all find yourself exhausted, except for obviously
Wait, hang on a
Amelia,
minute.
who has had her own.
I'm fine. I did the Constitution save.
Oh, except for you, yeah, you're feeling all right.
So did I.
Yeah, me and Cassius are
It's
fine.
only-
You're in
only-
Cassius.
It's
Yes,
exhaustion
that's
in flowery terms, not in
right.
mechanical
flowery
terms.
not in mechanical. Yeah, you're
You
bloody
gotta be
tough.
Hang
careful
on.
when the DM says buzzwords. It's like, oh, you're just feeling a bit rough. You're just feeling a little bit
You've got
poisoned. It's like, well, am I poisoned? Oh, you
And
seem
you walk-
incapacitated by
Walk
this
into a dungeon
situation.
for hours and you accidentally say out loud as your character, "Man, I'm exhausted," and the DM's just like, "And you add that to your sheet."
Yeah, gotta be careful.
So
Yeah.
what?
Yes, you walk
But
back.
what time do we get to the inn to go to sleep?
Assume
It's
like probably
bed.
6 a.m. or something.
Yeah, about
7
6 a.m. by the time
So,
all this is wrapped up.
I'm probably going to sleep until 12 o'clock in the afternoon then, at
It's
minimum.
Yeah, it's up to you guys. I
I'll
will say
force myself up
12
you
or
know-
1.
for the election.
that by the time they've done their final speeches. By the time they've collected the tickets, it will be about 3 o'clock in the afternoon when they do the final announcement, and then celebrations after that.
Right, well, I would definitely sleep until 12.
But for the time being, you will take your much deserved rest and
Even
sleep.
if it,
So yes, you all go to sleep for the night, and you wake up the next day. Who is staying in bed the longest? Who is getting up bright and early?
I want to be up to try and start spreading all the news about like what's happening.
I'm staying into bed until
Try
12
and-
at least.
Okay.
I'm getting
Probably
6
10
hours
o'clock.
minimum.
Probably
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
Probably
Probably
maybe.
like the 1.
Yeah.
If people are usually like, if people are like planning to do speeches and stuff at like 11 or whatever, I'd be up and ready for that. If there's only like 2 or 3 hours sleep, like I don't mind not replenishing my spells.
Yeah, because you need a full 8 hours or so for.
Yeah.
Unless you're an elf, and there's 4.
I
obviously.
didn't use any, so I'm quite lucky. But
Just use the
Okay.
shield of faith. Other than that, I got all my spells.
Mm.
So yeah, but I'm obviously very tired. I'm like powering through. I got a high con. I got a +3 constitution. I'm strong.
I should get rid of my exhaustion, I believe, as well.
Yeah, if you're doing that long, then sure.
Yeah, you rested like 8 hours, haven't you?
I think it's like 1 level minus per each long rest. So like, if
Yeah.
I had more than 1 level of exhaustion, it would take multiple sleeps, but I should be fine.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Cool.
Like I say, you'll come down at various intervals, and you can see that the bees are buzzing. The distillery today is not active. This is a big day. So there is
Oh, yeah.
no mead being made. There is no like work happening. You can actually see the whole town hall is being prepared for celebration. Like there are rows of tables being set up. There is you get the impression that they'll bring out food as much as they can really, manage, but there'll still be like celebratory, a bit of food. There'll be plenty of mead, obviously, to drink. There are mead barrels being hefted into place by, what is it, Night Stout. And you
Yeah.
can see Grant Holmes is there coordinating where everything should go. And today is the day. We are on what are we on now?
Sunday.
This is the Sunday. This is the 5th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now
So
we're on
I
Sunday.
guess I'm up first. I guess I just try and like see what the word in town is. See if like anything's spread, if anything's developed.
Okay. The
So
word
awesome.
in town as you walk
Word.
around and as you listen into like conversations and various chit chat and gossip,
Hmm.
is that the dwarf known as Shanda has been arrested. Nobody knows quite why just yet. People are throwing around speculations as to why, but nobody's really sure at all. Or I was gonna say, where's her damn name?
Olivessa.
Olivessa.
Yeah.
You come across her, that you can have words with her.
Oh yeah, talk.
She's very much like, okay, I'm going to be town speaker at this rate. I still don't really want to, but there's nobody else, so gonna have to. She's kind of like that with it. Um, and yeah, people are just gearing up to listen to her final speech, and then obviously the town will decide if she is to become speaker or not.
Yeah, you haven't heard Quinn's plan yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so I get like the lay of the land, eat some food, drink some mead.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Getting
cool.
ready. Yeah, it's talking to everyone. But yeah, as long as I know nothing's happened and he hasn't escaped or there's not like an army of thugs trying to like beat down the
there
town.
is nothing like that happening.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm just kind of like letting things play out.
Okay. Do you all convene and listen to the speech, as it were? Or
Yeah, I feel like everything's happening
What
in the
time
mead
is it?
hall anyway.
what time is it? We're getting to about 12. Let's say we go from 12 now.
If it's 12,
Zafira's
I'll be
going to
up.
skip the speech. She'll stay in bed till about 1.
Yeah, because it's all in the building, isn't it? It's all in the mead hall.
Yeah,
No, that's
I'll be
true.
up
I'm
at
thinking they're
12.
doing it outside in some sort of town hall. No,
Oh,
there's
she got to put
they're
up
doing
with
it
it while she's
inside.
trying to sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
I'm
true.
just there, like
Fuck's
hanging
sake,
out.
maybe I don't get a full rest in that case.
I'm
I
watching
mean,
everyone.
I guess if it starts at 12, she'll just wake up then, and that would be just about a long rest. But she's just not happy about it.
Hmm.
She want another hour or two.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Yeah, that's cool.
and for Olivia, she she stands up there. She stands on like a small crate, just to give elevation, and she starts to talk to the town, and she lays out her ideals and plans about the same sort of plans you heard Shanda talking about, but she goes into a lot more detail of like, I believe we can make better trade routes if we go this way instead of that way. If we were to use these ingredients except for those ingredients with the mead, which Grant Holmes gives like a raised eyebrow about, but like nods eventually anyway.
Know your
Um,
place. Stay in your lane.
yeah. So she discusses those ideas. She talks about how if we use a different drill than the drills we have been using and go further out, we'll probably be able to hit more trout. If we just change our tactics there, we'll be able to get more. Things like that. If we were to repair this, if we were to fix that, and she plans to now she starts to put up a show, and it's almost like she's just getting into. She starts flowing. She starts getting into it, even though you know that she doesn't really want to do this, but she has her fun with it for a minute, and it's like, I shall go to the monthly speaker meetings, and I shall discuss our town standing with the other towns, with the other 10 towns, for instance, and I will do the best I can to represent us, and all of those kind of things. And for her whole speech, she has given over a good speech. She has gotten the side of the town, but then somebody yells up and says, "What do you think about your opposition? Why has he not?" People start talking. Why has Shanda not turned up this morning? What on earth has he done? And
So
she's like, I've got no idea.
I bash like the handle of my great axe into the ground, like on the
Okay.
wooden board.
Yeah,
Tell
you
not
have.
that.
Just like bang it a couple of times,
Yeah.
then like get up and then
Okay.
like move to where she is standing.
You've now got the attention of the crowd as they watch you move, and they know you as well because you've been around. So
I'm
Yeah,
watching.
they'll
I've been
listen
doing
to
it
you.
like probably less than 30 years. I think we said 25 years. I've been living
I'm
in good
leaning against the
meat.
post
Yeah, you've been
off to
living
the
a lot.
side, like, watching,
Yeah.
Yeah.
arms crossed and everything like this.
Okay.
Arms
Yeah.
crossed,
so I
arms are heavy.
What
There's vomit
do
on
you
his sweater
say?
already.
yeah, so I get up and say, people of good meat, I can answer your questions about froth. I don't have to do the entire speech, but I go like,
Yeah.
we were wondering why he wasn't at the funeral. We heard that he leaves every month. We tried to find him in case he was in danger. We found the footprints. We found him coming back with the gang. We persuaded the gang to return home. While talking to him, we found out that he was in the pockets of Nath.
Xantarum.
Nerth.
Nerf.
Oh,
the
sorry.
person Nerf, yeah. Member of the Santarum. And yeah, go into all that. Say that we alerted the guards, we alerted Arthur, we went to his house to hold him in the jailhouse.
Yep.
But he already ran and he was injured. We healed him, we took him back to the jailhouse, and he awaits there as being a puppet of the, I guess, Black Network. I'd go for the call the name. And
Yeah, sure.
just go and just explain it to the entire town and go, I believe that he should not be allowed to run. I believe he will not be good for the town. And then that's kind of it. Like, I don't volunteer or anything. I
Yeah.
just say, like,
People
I don't think he's a good idea.
people definitely talk, and you can hear the chit chat of people as they confer with one another, and the fact that, let's see, the fact that some people definitely know that he's been thrown in prison, and you can see that as you look around, the familiar faces of most of the town guard are inside here as well. For the people that don't like him for whatever reasons, they're more outspoken about this, and a few of those people are in the town guard, and his logger friends, Jace and the older one
Oh, Jack. Yeah.
named as Jackson. Oh, sorry, I mean Jackson. Is there along with the other three loggers, all in different ages and things. So there's like all five of them in there. They're trying to be like, no, surely not, you know. But the crowd is outspeaking them as well. So you definitely get the impression that it's now, the favor has now gone in terms of Olivia's position.
Yeah. Can I
Olivia,
can I cast assuming no one is within 5 feet of me? Like, assume there's no one's within 5 feet of Quinn. Can I use
You're in a crowded
word of radiance? So I'm on the stage next to where she was talking.
You can do, yeah,
I
sure.
could be 5 feet away.
Sure.
Yeah, so I utter divine word, and then burning radiance like erupts from me. They kind of like shine with like the green and orange light. Kind of want to get everyone's attention, basically.
Sure. Yeah, you can
Like,
do that.
Get
holding
the
up.
eyebrow from the back of Cassius being like, interesting.
Yeah, I put my spikes out like a hedgehog.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I go, I know that this is bad news, and to let you know that we have evidence of his action, and he himself hasn't denied anything, although he is not in sound mind at the moment. He was badly injured last night. I understand that this is not a great time, but these last couple of years have not been a good time for anyone. I understand that there's bad blood between different sides of this election, but we need to band together now, and I will continue my holy work to bring an end to this winter. And if I need to go through this network to do so, I will. I will not let harm come to good meat.
Give me a performance check.
Oh no, I'm not great at performance.
Just
I'm going to
pulling
use
off
my
the stage.
inspiration. Let's use inspiration.
All right.
All right.
It gives you advantage, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so unlucky.
So bad.
Oh,
See you later.
damn.
Oh,
From this, like,
burn inspiration on that.
Well, it was a good time to use it.
Oh, yeah, there's no time like.
It wasn't a great time to use it. I tried.
you feel like you're getting the crowd, but there's just still a lot of whispers going backwards and forwards in the back.
Yeah, that's fine.
after
I mean, this is what Quinn wanted to do. Like, Quinn wanted to tell everyone, and everyone could decide what they want to do as a collective.
Yeah, that's
And
fine.
Quinn said, I'm piecing out of here. I'm doing my hero call to adventure.
yeah.
So I think Quinn's done. I think Quinn just gets
Yeah.
down from the stage and is like, these guys can talk aloud now. They can work out what they want to do.
Amelia's wants to say something in this instance. And she
Yeah.
says, Quinn, it is what do I say? What do I say? Put myself on the spot.
Yeah, mind blank.
There still leaves the question of who shall be speaker for this town. Olivessa herself has said she doesn't want to be speaker. What was his name again? I can never remember his name.
Shandar.
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 Shandar is not fit to be speaker. There must be one other that would both want to be speaker, and there has been no one who's done more for this town than Quinn Fairkettle. Surely, Quinn,
Quinn
you
looks
would
very
be...
uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh, I
It's
know.
like-
I know.
Quinn is not happy.
Yeah, I don't care. Quinn, no one has done more for this town than you. I think there would be no better advocate for speaker than you. I think you'd be a good fit for this town. You do well to
Yes.
support the city and drive it to success.
Where are you saying this? Are you on stage saying this?
Oh no, I'm like at the
I think
back.
he's
I'm
in the
like
crowd, yeah.
yeah. This is a tavern, right? So I'm just sat at a table.
Yeah, it's the town hall.
Yeah.
But that's what I say.
Yeah, the mead hall is like the main gathering spot.
Fairly big, I
Yeah,
imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess Quinn goes. I will be occupied for maybe several weeks, however long it takes for me and my fair, honourable companions. She says, staring at like Amelia, to sort out this weather. But if I survive, I would be honored to be the speaker of this town. I could always nominate Liviness.
Oliviesa.
Olivessa.
Olivessa.
I was going to start to get Olivessa at this point.
This is why, like, when I was DMing, I just changed all the names to names I could easily pronounce.
Yeah.
Too dyslexic for this. Yeah. So say, yeah, if I have Olessa be my second and monitor this town until I return, I would be happy with this arrangement.
At that point,
It has my vote.
a familiar voice pipes up from the middle of the crowd. And you can plainly see it is Grant. Goes on his little tiptoes and goes and rocks back and forth and goes, do you know, I reckon you will make a perfect leader for this town and town speaker. You certainly do have my vote, and I'm sure Night Stout here, and he like nudges the half orc, has his vote for you as well. So yes, everybody, I think this will work out very well for all of us.
You have my daggers.
I do the end of Star Wars thing when like R2-D2 makes a noise and Luke goes like, oh yeah, we're so happy. I do that.
But of course, we shall all put it to a vote in an hour's time. Let everybody rejoice and have great discussion of what you all think, and we will meet back here in an hour's time, and I shall set up the box.
Cool.
I get onto a table, raise a glass of mead, and I go, to good mead, like that, and then start chugging this thing. Just see if anything.
There are like a few claps and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, you know,
It's
one
like,
or two like, way.
He's drunk.
And
That's the first drink I've had.
And then everybody starts
drunk.
getting into their groups and starts talking, and people leave the hall. People
So-
walk out.
I've had this idea for a while, but I haven't used it. But I had this idea where someone like intermingle with the crowd and like talk to people. See, because I'm assuming people have questions to answer.
Yes.
Ask me. But I want to cast my spiritual weapon. Because I have spiritual weapon.
Mm.
So I'm going to cast that. It only lasts like a minute. So I want to use it because my spiritual weapon's in the form of a tankard.
Yeah.
So I want to like chuck tankards at people as my spiritual weapon. So it's like a holy like crystal tankard with like this greeny, goldy, meaty like elixir inside is like my spiritual weapon. Probably like some froth hanging off the side. And I want to use it like a Sims like green diamond to put it above my head so people can see me in the crowd. Because I'm only 3 foot.
Yeah.
So I want it to be like 3 foot above my head.
What the fuck?
Use it as like I am here in the crowd.
But people know where to find you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
And
do
you
that.
know, could you say good mead? And I'm like, I put the mead above my head.
Yeah, good mead.
But yeah, I just wanted to do that because it'd be fun.
All right, that's cool.
And get the boomerang out.
People are impressed that you've, you know, there seems to be some master of mastering. I was going to say magical skills, but like religious skills or what's the word?
Divine?
Eric?
Divine.
Divine.
Radiant?
I was thinking of different systems
You're
again.
just describing me when you say radiant.
Yeah.
Describing. So yes,
Most of
like
my spells do radiant damage.
Yeah,
It's all holy stuff.
People are impressed that you've got more mastery over divine, you know, powers, and most of them hadn't seen that before.
Especially in the last like couple of days.
Yeah,
I got a lot better all of a
What
sudden.
are you? Didn't know you could do that. Amazing. People are in awe.
Yes, I guess most people know me as like the weird cleric who's trying to bring agriculture to the frozen north.
That is what you set out to do.
And I kind of bless and like make mead and like bless the mead hall. That's like what I really do in the town, I guess. They're not used to me being like
But it's like
battle
your
cleric.
your your blessings are actually happening. Like
Hmm.
He went
now
off
that
on a
it's
little
proof.
journey.
Huh?
And he
Unexpected
came
journey?
back.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Hey, I'm Bilbo.
So what do you want to do in this hour leading up?
I just want to chat to people, try and like answer any questions. Be a
Yeah.
politician.
They ask you the general questions that you might come to expect of the like, what do you plan to do? Are you going to stay here? If you put another one in charge, is he just not? Are you not staying? You know, things like that.
Yeah, I
And-
answer all their questions as honestly as I can.
yeah.
It's like I don't know when I'll be back, but I need to go and sort this stuff out.
Okay. We were like, okay. And
I'll come back.
who would you put in your second?
So I kind of wanted to put
Shander Froth.
Oh my god, put
'Cause, like-
Amelia in as your second.
Grant would kind. Oh, it has to be someone that's in the town.
Would you
like,
think any of the
just what-
guard, like Arthur, for instance, or
yes, I was
something
thinking like
that, would just
Grant
stand in?
or Arthur. was
Dende
be
stays
good.
behind, gets a mayor hat.
Because like Grant
Oh.
and like Arthur are like good.
Grant could
They're
do
like
it as a
they're
stand-in for
older
a time.
members of. They're older. They're more experienced. They've
Yeah.
been there the longest.
Yeah. Grant is like Grant is
Yeah.
definite. Yeah, you could do.
So probably say to them like, I don't know. Like ask Grant and Arthur if they would. I feel
Yeah.
like they've helped me, and they're like more wiser people.
True.
Yes, I guess it depends if one of those says yes.
I get the feeling Grant would be okay with it, and Arthur would be, I've got my own stuff going on.
Yeah, that's cool. So the other person would be Daisy, I guess, but I think Grant would be good because he's also the one who's like, I think you'll be good, and it's like, do you want to be my vice president? Do you want to get on my ballots?
Release the hounds.
He's like
No.
showed, yeah, like he
He's
showed
your
faith in
Biden.
me. I should
Yeah.
show faith in him. Is what kind of Quinn's seeing it
Yeah,
as.
yeah.
He's put
No,
his neck out
that's
for
fine.
me.
He is okay with it then.
So you're gonna be for the next couple of weeks anyway, and I'll be back anyway.
He's like, oh, you better go and solve this winter problem quickly.
To sort out this divine problem going on.
It's becoming a white nuisance. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I
Um,
guess I tell everyone that then.
Okay. So if there's nothing else to do, we'll skip forward to the actual,
Hmm.
thing. So an hour passes and everyone's there, everyone's talking, and everyone's bundled into the town hall. And the last of the people, the last of the line is writing on a little piece of paper and folding it up and putting it in the box. And then there's more talks and the votes are being counted, as it were. And who would say it? Arthur, let's say Arthur stands up there, stands up on the stage, and he says, would the candidates like to come forward, please? Come up here and stand on the stage, and you can see Olivessa comes up and stands on his left. You come up and stand on his right.
Oh, yeah.
And God, that's all there is, isn't there? Let's say there is one other person, but it's so far down the running. It's like, it's got his own little plaque around his
Is it Buckethead?
chest.
Isn't that Raving Mad
Yeah.
Lunatic Party or whatever
Yeah,
the party
Monster
is?
Raving Lunatic
Yeah,
Party.
Monster Raving Party.
Yeah, it's like the
Just
little.
dressed up as like a furball, just
He's like
shouting.
got like a little flag and his own advertisement.
He's
He
the,
stands
he's the
up there as
Buckethead
well.
dude, whoever it was. His name was.
He's a lot
So
shorter,
Buckethead.
So the three of you are up there, and the Arthur gets handed like another piece of paper from somebody else, a counter, and goes, okay, ladies and gentlemen, our now new town speaker for the time being is none other than our own Quinn Fairkettle. And he like,
They lift the hand up like it's a boxing match.
everyone, like, cheers, they are clapping.
More like that though, because my arm would be so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Pulling it to the
little
ground.
the smaller, the smaller guy with the flag kind of like droops and is sad, and and Olivessa is relieved, and understanding. And those two leave the stage, and you're left up there. You're left up there, Quinn, standing next to Arthur, and he says, Arthur says to you, "Is there anything you would like to address the town before we celebrate?"
Yeah, I guess I'll just say, like, thank you for everyone who's shown faith in me. I understand how important faith is during these harsh, long winters. And I hope you all understand that I need to leave and deal with this problem. So I will, for the short time until I return, name Grant to run. What would it be? Like assistant speaker, temporary speaker,
It's like
Speaker.
whatever. There must be a term for it. But yeah, whatever.
It's like standing speaker, but for like when I'm
Yeah,
away.
because surely like someone's got to be there to answer questions when I go to the meetings in like the main town and that.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, it's got to be like a position. Yeah.
So Grant steps forward to the front of the stage, but not on the stage, and he turns around. He's like, "I would be honoured to be your standing whilst you're away. No better, I am able to answer any question."
Yeah.
So he says that.
Yeah, perfect. And I say, thank you. I will continue to bless this town and bless its harvest. As you all know, agriculture is a big part of my life and my deity's belief. We will make this town flourish. Then yeah, that's kind of it. Do like a bow.
Yeah, everyone claps and cheers again, and Grant goes, "Well, it's time to celebrate. You all know where the meat is, and you all know where the food is.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate."
Let's
Everyone,
party.
yeah, there's like all the things.
I think
Special thanks to Amelia for putting my name forward.
Well, that's gonna happen after I get off stage.
Yeah, so I think at this point, now this happened, Cassie's just going to go outside, get some fresh air, and kind of just
Yeah, sure.
take a step away from it, because it's obviously been a crazy couple of days since we
There
got
are
here. We've been non-stop.
there are people standing outside as well. You know,
no, he's probably
celebrations are like
probably
on
just
the
going to
front
take
lawn.
a walk down towards, like, it's where the shrine is, but like towards the coast,
sure.
maybe on the pier there,
Yeah,
just to like get a bit more quiet, a bit more things, just to kind of reflect on the last few days, because like it's been nuts. It's been non-stop. We haven't stopped, and I think just like enjoying the moment of sort of calm and peacefulness, before realizing that they're going to be moving on again soon. So he's just going to be doing that, kind of calming himself down and getting his head together, basically.
Immediately we'll go over and find Dakut and see how he's getting on with the book.
Dakut has been in the crowd. He's got a tankard in his hand as well. He is just talking to general townsfolk. He turns to you and goes, "Ah, Amelia, how are you doing?"
Ah, very well. This is a joyous celebration, and the mead is good. What's more to like?
It is. It is. Do you know, I'm not far off finishing that book now. It should be done by the time we get back.
Fantastic.
Just a few more nights, I think, and then I'll have it done.
I thank you for doing this. Very much appreciated.
Yes, of course. We'll go back to Brinshiner, and I will, send messages over to Targos as well. The rest of my family and my sister, and then see how we go. But we should be heading off soon. I'm getting a bit. We've been here long enough,
Oh yes, I for one am done. I think we leave first light tomorrow.
Sounds like a good idea. Oh, I'm going to get a bit more food and do, talk to some more people.
Enjoy the day.
I guess
And be careful of that Nath if you do bump into him in Targos. We seem to have our business there as well.
Give me perception check.
Perception
I
check.
fucking knew it.
Can't be
Perception.
the entire town is for the crooks. It's gonna be
No.
brave
Proper.
or
Ah,
villainry.
really poor 6.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay. Well, he turns and he starts to mingle with the rest of the crowd.
Okay. Fair enough.
They'll probably chat and stuff with everyone, but I guess the only thing we probably should play out is Quinn and Amelia, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah, if there's anything you want to do for the rest of the day, it is a day of celebration into the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So I guess I
Zephyrius is trying not to be noticed drinking.
that's what
Hey, Zephyria, you're drinking. No, chicken.
Yeah. Well, it was
Well,
at
nice,
night.
pretty
Yeah, you
fast.
probably find her, and she's like, "Oh,
This
yeah,
old
yeah,
water.
Oh, I see.
Sampled
Yeah,
in local.
the-
They, yesterday sucked.
Not just yesterday. This whole journey has been a bloody nightmare, right from day one.
Right.
Can't wait to find these goddamn caravans and get the trade routes back up and running. I hate this place. I mean,
No
it's
offense
nice,
taken.
but it's not nice, if that makes sense. I mean, the
Here's a
people
good-
seem okay, but this weather, I'll never get used to it.
Like,
I hate the cold.
Really? They seem okay to you?
No, not at all.
I know you were trying to be polite.
Yes. Not a fan of the cold. But hey, someone's got to do the hard labor.
It's always
Seems-
a dwarf.
Oh, sure.
I'm joking.
I
But I'm not. Well, am I?
was referring to the other
You
civilians of
don't know.
Waterdeep. They care not for the goings on in Icewind Dale. Someone
some
had
point-
to fix the routes, and that
At some
someone
point
is
during the
me.
day, I'll probably just wander back in.
But you came from a
Yeah.
rich family.
I did.
Talking about we always end up doing the hard work. Just saying. It's
You
a
know,
very shiny sword you've got there.
it is. I come from a wealthy family, yes, and we've certainly done our fair share of hard work to get there in the first place.
I'm sure. She's a -1 charisma, and she's had a few drinks, so she's even more blunt than usual.
Nice. Anyway,
yeah, I guess I could come over now. Just as I come over, I go. So, Amelia, it seems like you got who you wanted to be the speaker in the end, after all.
it was all a ploy.
Say, well, I think you have, maybe inadvertently, but I think you've made a good call for good meat. I don't relish the extra responsibility, but I do feel better with this town being in my hands.
I think there was only ever going to be one person running for speaker. One person that were going to get it. That being said, I do think that that gentleman is. We need to do what we can to protect him. There's definitely more to this story, and
I shall protect him as much as I can protect anyone else in this town. He hasn't broke any laws of good meat.
indeed.
He is a member of us, and we shall look after him.
Well, I am glad you got the position you deserved. I think it was only fitting that you became the speaker of this town. It's not my place to say. I don't have any ties to this city, but as you say, there's no one here that cares more for this town than you. No one here that's done more for this town than you. And so
Say within
I
5
think you
years,
are
10 years, this will be a epicenter of agriculture and prosperity.
one thing at a time, my friend.
Hmm.
We have a lot of
I-
work to do yet.
At this
Yeah,
point,
Quinn just sighs like, yeah, you're right. We do have a lot of stuff to do.
I rock up to the table with 4 tankards in hand, and I'm like, mead? I think it's like 2 in each hand.
Thundergrog, 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 Thundergrog.
I was gonna see if they had Thundergrog, but I don't think.
Nah, it's all homebrew.
Yeah, so I like slide. I slide a
Not
mead
yet.
to Sufira and Amelia, and I look at not Sufira, sorry, to Quinn and Amelia, and then I look at Sufira, and I'm like, got the mead, and I look at her, and like, give her a nod to see if she wants it.
Oh, I don't really. I mean, if you're insisting,
I just
I
slide
mean,
it across.
it's a
it's
celebration.
celebratory day.
Yeah,
I will
At least-
have to accept your
and he
generosity.
slides it across to you.
Thank you.
And sits down, and he's like, good mead, and see if anybody like clinks with
Yeah,
him.
I say the
Yeah, I'll
same.
do it.
Yeah.
I say
And
good mead,
as
good
you
mead.
all clink at the same time, there is a 5th one that comes up and clinks as well.
I
And
look over my shoulder.
Grant stands there, and you can clearly see he's like swaying on his feet at this point. And he says, to a good mead as well, and to all of you fine people.
If you-
Tell me, are you having a good time? And what do you decide to do next? Are you staying around for another couple of days?
So, I think we need to set off soon, maybe tomorrow. We need to continue our journey with Takut. We need to find out what's wrong with this nature.
Oh, yes. No, Dakut, I did have a few words with him myself. Seems like a fine fellow, even though he carries that sack around with him a bit too much, but he doesn't seem to let it go out of his
Still
sight.
digging in with Weren't you guys looking at his sack?
Can I do a sleight of hand on what's his face? Oh my god,
What, Grant?
Grant. Yeah. So obviously he's really
I did.
drunk. I want to like basically go like switch my empty mead with his one. So like that basically.
There's the moment where he puts it down on the table.
Well, yeah.
And,
He
like,
either puts
it's like-
it down or like he's got it in his hand. I'm like, I take it off and then hand him my other one, and he's like, eh, and just walks off with my empty one. Let's sleight of hand. This is a deck save, so it probably isn't going to go. Not that's a.
Oh, not
What'd you
great.
get?
I got an 8.
Got an 8.
Can I have an advantage of 9 because he's drunk? It doesn't make any difference.
Not
I'd
really.
say it's basically the same number.
Well, I just rolled 20. You basically noticed.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, I think I've had enough for the time being. I have had 4, you know.
4?
4 is, you know, this stuff is strong. This is the good stuff.
The good mead.
Yeah,
The good mead.
it's good meat. It puts hairs on your chest. You know.
You know what we
Oh,
should call the
dear.
group? A friend in mead is a friend indeed.
Oh no. Do you get bitten by Dende for it?
Quinn in the speakers is what we should call ourselves.
Dende is
Like a
actually
fan.
running around trying to. I guess there's a little scene where Dende is just like eye to eye with a little kid who's like crouched down and like curious about the Dende, and then he just cocks his head to the side. And I don't know because I'm not the DM, but I don't know if the kid
You're making this up at this point,
fear
so
of
you
the
go for it.
dragon.
I think people are very like the kids are more inquisitive and the adults are more like why.
I think it's a more festive atmosphere, so he's trying to like be known and not be, you know.
yeah.
Oh my god. Does the kid ride him? Like around like a little horse?
Do I have to roll an animal handling check for the humans? See if he can tame the humans.
I guess so. Yeah.
Do a 1d20 or something.
Tame
Am I actually gonna?
Yeah.
What is animal handling? Is that a wisdom or?
Animal handling.
Wisdom.
is-
I'm gonna roll for just to fair.
Same
just to
as
see
like
what it actually is.
perception, that isn't it?
Isn't it a handling thing?
It's.
Oh yeah.
Hang on. It is.
Handling,
Doesn't
5e.
tell me. Okay.
Animal handling.
Wisdom, yeah. So Dende will make a
wisdom.
wisdom check.
Okay, against a human. Base human.
13.
Yeah, it probably does it
13.
considering it's like,
As
occasionally
a child, they're
that
pretty
will be
thick.
found. Yeah.
That's probably illiterate.
Yeah, most likely.
This is the
So
frontier.
yeah, there's a moment where you're all sitting around the table talking to Grant as he's now sitting with you guys and just like splurting whatever or thing. You look and there's just this dragon in the background like bounding across the floorboards, and there's like this kid riding this small child like riding the dragon, having a whale of a time.
Aw.
Quinn Devi does that like noise. What's this? Am I needed? Am I not needed? Oh, it's okay. It's all right.
Yeah,
Do you like the concerned parent when you like hear noise? It's like, oh, what the fuck are the children doing now?
but they're playing. So the rest of the afternoon passes to evening. People start gathering up their things and they start going home. And
Very
eventually, unless you want to do anything else, the rest of the day unfolds with you guys being in the mead hall, passing stories, swapping adventures to the various town folk that want to hear it. Basically, you've managed to generate a name for yourselves now. At this point, is there actually a name you want to call your group?
Wow, this is Jack's time to shine. So excited.
You'll have these moments of like, oh, we could actually be called something to get our names out there
We need a name.
if we want to.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. We did have a couple of ideas. I can't remember which we went with.
Well,
Hang on.
You want me to
How
read
about
them out? I've
It
got
would
them
be
all.
it would be so amusing to let the masses, I mean, people on YouTube, put up the poll on YouTube thing if we had lots of
Frostmaiden's
people.
Bane. That's what we should be called.
Shall I read them out?
Yeah.
if you've
I've
got
got
one of
all
these.
Yeah.
So I've got good mead. Some of them are like half formed, clearly. Good meads, northern deeds. The
Yeah.
northern lights. The something in the good mead. the icebreakers. The hot top half. The eyes of night.
That was the
Lords
one.
of the Dale. Patrons of the Dale. The holy Dale, and the
Yeah.
two-leggers.
The Eyes of
Pretty sure
Night.
the
I
Eyes
think
of
was the
Night
one.
was in the-
Was the one we're going to
Yeah.
go with.
The
Guys,
Eyes of
Night.
Night.
Does sound bad. Yeah.
Okay.
The name of my
That's
spell.
my favorite.
Yeah, the eyes of night.
Eyes of Night then. Yeah, you start passing that around and like people are like, oh, did you hear about what they did? Did you hear about that like, epic adventure that they went on? And it's almost like a bit like Chinese whispers in some bits of the room, but you start to just generate this going forward now, this name for your group. The Eyes of Night.
I have to write a poem for that next session.
Yeah, you
It should be
will.
a fucking
Hell yeah.
bard one campaign.
That would be quite fun.
Next one.
Maybe.
So yes,
Scan them, eat your heart out.
the day starts to pass into night, if you can consider that. And before you know it, it's gotten late. So if there's
I
nothing
guess-
else to do, we'll pass into the next day.
The last thing is because no one else has brought it up, but I guess I should probably bring it up. We sat around, probably a little bit tipsy,
Yeah.
but probably just like. So, what was the plan originally when we were supposed to ambush Shanda, and then these other people turned up? Because, to my knowledge, I don't think we got that far. It's a bit slurred words at this point. He's a bit drunk.
Yeah.
Cassius, why did you run out and try to intimidate them by yourself?
So,
What do you think?
here's what I was thinking, right? Australian, apparently. So, think it like this. You yourself and Amelia, very good stealthing, taking pot shots and all that good stuff. And obviously Quinn, magical. So I thought, if I step out in front of these people
Mhm.
and intimidate them to scare them away, even the odds a bit, and if it did go south, you guys would have jumped in there, surprised them, ambushed them, and they would have been either put to sleep, shot with arrows, or 2 daggers in the back.
To speak to Froth and try to get more information from him.
Yeah, see, now I wasn't planning
Oh.
on.
What happened to your old making friends first and then shooting later? That kind of went a bit to shit.
Ah, see, no, I had no plan in harming them. I merely, I merely wished for
Amelia.
Amelia. No, I just wanted the group of people that he was with to leave so we could talk to him. I had no intentions of harming him. Now I realize now in this conversation that this probably did not come across correctly, but my intentions were good. I was not planning on starting a fight. I was merely trying to scare them away.
Quinn's
that-
By
definitely-
cracking out a whip from thin air.
it's a good
Sure. I mean, that was
trick.
pretty cool. That was a good party trick, but yeah. That
Very confident, Cassius. But
I
you're
was-
an idiot.
I
You
will
thought you
take-
could intimidate 8 of them by yourself. You're very confident.
No,
but you're
I
an
will.
idiot.
I will take that information on board because I definitely agree that was not my finest or smartest moment. But I did it because I thought that maybe at least if I had their attention, you guys would finish the fight if it got that way. And I'm so glad it didn't.
So while you're doing
Well-
this, just paint the picture. Quinn's like sat at like the bench, probably with like her head like on a jacket that's like on the table in front of her, kind of like half asleep.
Yeah.
And you just hear Quinn just kind of just go, "Man, your morality systems are so weird." It's like, I'm glad I got a deity to show me the right way. It just goes back to sleep.
Yeah, it was logic in my madness, Quinn.
Gods never did anything for me.
Just see like the arm, like yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
carries
just
on.
like, you may not always understand my methods in my madness, and maybe I don't even understand my methods in my madness, but be sure that I will never be the one to throw the first punch unless some extreme things happen.
Quinn goes,
like jumping out in front of 8 people and saying, "Fuck you."
Well, did I throw the first punch? I didn't. Did they stop in their tracks? They did, and then we had a good conversation and things worked out fine.
I mean,
Quinn
all is
goes-
well that ends well, but yeah, maybe don't do that next time.
yeah, so Quinn just goes, if you ever need a moral compass, you
Don't go
know
to Quinn.
you know I must be good because my deity is good. But I can still do this. It makes a sacred flame like appear on like a finger. It's like Shantae is good. I'm good. Just listen to me.
I don't think you guys are seeing my point here. Like I'm not.
I think we should take Quinn to bed. I think she's had a bit too
drank a
much
lot.
of that mead.
They can't start a fire with the sacred flames. It's radiant, not fire.
Uh,
I'm like, in
before
my head,
let's
I'm
take her
like,
to bed before she commits arson, everyone.
Yeah.
First,
Quinn's like ready to go to sleep.
first job as speaker, I shall burn the town centre down.
To be fair, she didn't get that much sleep.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like got the least sleep out of everyone. Yeah,
By the
Quinn
way,
was
what
actually
did
good
happen
to go to
last
bed.
night? I never did get to ask.
No,
All
don't
I heard
worry
was
about
matey boy ended up in prison or some shit.
Cassius is just like, no, don't worry about it. Like he tried to run, we found him, we put him in the cell. It's all good. Don't worry yourself about it. Like,
And the injury, was that done
no,
by
he
you?
he fell over and then I like and
Just
you
fell over.
yeah, he fell over some twigs or some a log. I don't know, something.
There
like
was
that,
some kind of glowing thing out in the woods.
Wait,
Pretty scary.
again?
That's what I was trying to avoid.
Yeah, I think it might have been similar.
I had a weird dream about that last night.
Scary.
I think we should all just.
I think
Drink
we should go to
more
bed.
Nah.
I am too tired for this conversation. And too drunk, too, it seems.
Well,
I haven't been this drunk since this one time in Waterdeep.
Don't worry. If the scary, glowy wood lights come for you, Quinn will save you. And she pokes Quinn.
don't worry.
But
if the
not
scary
tonight.
light-
Definitely.
if the scary light comes for you, that one over there, he points to Saphira, got a magical ability to track things.
I cast Shield of Faith on myself again. I start glowing. It's like I can protect myself. I don't need no one to protect me.
I'll tell.
No, you're going to protect them, Quinn. You're going to
Oh.
protect Amelia.
Yes, I protect everyone in this town.
And Cassius is just like, well, I will protect you with this. And he pulls out the boomerang and he's like, don't you worry. Like, this thing is never failed me and it always comes back. What's not to like? And puts it back away.
Then their last is like, oh, very strange. I've never felt like this before.
I guess
Oh.
because the connection.
Maybe. Maybe. Didn't think about that.
Well,
I guess
Yeah.
I've been drinking Dende, so maybe you feel strange too. Oh. Well, that's just silly.
he's just like stumbling around, like, whoa!
The kids still
A
trying
little
to
bit.
ride him.
One foot in front of
Yeah. He's like, well, there's like 4 of you. Like,
Yeah. While this is going on, Quinn's like going to bed. She's like,
yeah.
I protect the people of this town.
And we
And
protect
no one needs
each
to
other.
protect me. I have the eyes of night.
Part of me wants to pick her up and like scruff the neck and carry her to bed.
I'm going to bed. I'm just like swaying as I'm like going to bed.
I
Now,
look towards
one
Cassius.
more
I'm like.
Okay.
People's elbow, like, boosh. Yeah, I guess Cassius stands up at this point. It's just
Because I
like,
don't get my
The
full
one opportunity,
20 AC.
yeah.
which is acceptable.
Cassius stands up and he's like, well, we've learnt a lot. I think we need to work on our battle plans and strategies and understand how we all work. But other than that, good time. And then
Maybe
he goes
just
off.
follow my lead from now on. What could possibly
No.
go wrong?
No, I think you need to
Quinn
understand
definitely
that you
falls
should
up the
always
stairs, like just crawling up the stairs in the background.
You should always talk first and shoot later. That's how I will live.
Unlike Cassius von
Well,
Deuce,
That's
who
how I will.
shoots first and asks questions later.
I have never thrown a punch first. Just so you know, I didn't last night, and I will never do it. And he goes, right, I'm off to bed. He like gets up and like goes to bed.
Me,
They go to bed.
2.
You pass Quinn on the stairs.
Yeah.
She's like crawling.
He like picks her up and like carries her to the top of the stairs and puts her down.
And I protect the town.
You protect the town.
With that, you all find your respective rooms for the
Yeah.
night.
Well, try to
Yeah.
find our respective
Try
rooms.
to find your room. Whichever is stumbling around or helping each other into your rooms.
Someone
you all-
eventually gets me into my bed. I'm
You
sure.
Yeah.
all get into
No.
your beds.
Probably
No, we
me,
don't.
I'm sharing a room.
Oh
That
yeah.
is true. From the amount of various ales and mead, whatever you've had, you all
Thundergrog.
pass out into a sound sleep.
Oh
Whilst
yeah.
in the next room,
Oh no.
I'm going to end the session in a second. Dakut sits there on his bed and he's got his notepad out. Sorry. He's got his notepad out and he's just sitting there staring up at the ceiling. And he's got that green orb in his hand. And he's just doing this with it. And he throws it up and it comes down. And he throws it up again, it comes down. And he goes, his eyes go wide, and goes, wait a minute, I know what this is. And then we'll end the scene there.
Nice.
Then we'll time out. We'll
That's really
time
hopeful.
out here. There we go.
Damn.
It's just
What a-
Dakut doing all work and no play makes Dakut a dull boy. It's just like all the bookers are just that.
It's just him fapping. Like,
What a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, there you go, guys. That was a good session.
Yeah.
I think we
Oh,
all
too
learned a
shabby.
lot from this session.
And you all level
Yeah,
up
it's
as
good.
well.
Ooh.
There's a level up stage.
Ah, yeah.
do that now.
There you are. You should be
You
on
can
what?
bear with
Do I level up twice because I'm a speaker?
We'll do that
Oh.
offline.
Yeah.
Guys will be here all night.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we
fair
do
enough.
some outros?
Yes, outros and all those things. So yeah, we'll go around, starting with you, Jack, if you like.
Oh, sure. So everyone, you can find me at Don Hayes, so youtube.com/Don Hayes, where I do cinematic movies and cutscenes, all that good stuff for video games. You can also find me again on YouTube, but if you search for Don Hayes Plays, That's where home for all of my playthroughs, gameplay videos, and yeah, all that good stuff.
Excellent. How about you, Greg?
My name's Greg. I do Egregious Game on YouTube, and I do video essays. I talk about random shit, and occasionally I challenge people to bets, whereby if Elden Ring or Kirby wins Game of the Year, one or the other of said individuals may have to take a spoonful of Da Bomb hot sauce or some equivalent of a very high Scoville hot sauce.
Amazing stuff. How about you, Dave?
I play video games with these people.
You normally do. How about you, Levi?
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I have been Levi, aka Kittlejoy. If you want to check out most of my stuff, head on over to YouTube and look up The Engineering Bay. Do a lot of retro content, a lot of sort of discussion content on there on video games. Do other stuff with these guys occasionally. And I too have a bet with looking at seeing if Elden Ring or Kirby is going to be Game of the Year. I hear Kirby's Game of the Year. I'm being told this
Yep.
a lot.
Absolutely.
It is up for debate.
It's not likely that I'll be the one doing the hot sauce.
Not looking good for Elden Ring. It's not looking
No.
good for Elden Ring.
No,
I might
it's-
have to be in that hot sauce.
It's going to be mouthful mode, Kirby mouthful mode
Yeah.
with Elden Ring.
Mouthful mode on that hot sauce.
Oh, yeah. So, but yeah, if you want to check me out, head over there and yeah.
There you
about
go.
it.
I don't have YouTube. I sometimes play games with these two, maybe. But I've been Phil, your DM for the evening. This has been Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. We do this every other week. So tune in on Mondays. You can find all of our recent streams and stuff on the website. And I believe you also link your Dinde picture of the dragon in the notes. So that's there
We
as
need
well.
to talk about it every single session.
No, but
But,
it's there
you
for
know,
people to know.
He's been called out. Miguel,
Yeah,
you're awesome.
cool. Okay, and everyone, until next time, we will see you then.
Indeed, and we have been Worldshaper Games.
Yes.
All right.
Bye bye.